Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it now help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it now help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it now help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it now help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk.
Good evening. We're listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. Welcome to a special edition of the Make We Talk program with yours truly, Jeffrey T. This evening, I'm going to have with me my good friend. My co-host for this evening is none other than Miss Maria Edwards. Before bringing Maria in, let us do something here. I just want to tell everyone to remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It is nomination evening in Jamaica, and we have so many things to speak about. We're going to speak about nomination day, and we have Jamaica's food import bill hit a recording high of 1.6 billion Jamaican dollars. 1.6 billion Jamaican dollars. We're going to speak about that. The agriculture minister is none other than Mr. Floyd Green, and they dubbed him Baba Green. We're going to speak about him this evening and why the Jamaican people and the people of St. Elizabeth should not put him back in as member of parliament. Because if Jamaica's import bill can hit a recording high of $1.6 billion, that means that Floyd Green is not fit to be the Minister of Agriculture. And I don't think the Jamaican people should make him become Minister of Agriculture. The people of St. Elizabeth should not put him back in. So we're going to speak about that also. We're going to speak about Cliff Hughes is on a frenzy this evening because of what is going on within the media fraternity in Jamaica. And as you know, that the People's National Party will not be debating if Mr. Hughes and Mr. George Davis is going to be on the debating team from the debating commission. So we're going to play something from Mr. Cliff Hughes. Also, he's speaking on his radio program this afternoon, or today rather, pertaining to that. We're going to speak about so many other things. We're going to take your calls also. Before we start this evening, let us start with something here. We in this country, we as Jamaicans, one moment for me. Okay. Yes, sorry about that. We in this country, it is election fever in the air, and I pray and hope that this election era, it's a silly season. Let us be safe. Let us conduct ourselves with respect to each other, and let's be safe on the road. On election day, on September 3rd, 2025, what you need to do is to go out and vote. Exercise your right to vote. Do not take any money and sit at home and don't vote. It makes no sense. And when you do so, and the person who didn't want to win end up winning, they're going to say, if I didn't know. My fellow Jamaicans from Negril Point to Moran Point, I urge you, I beg you, I beseech you, let this election be the year in which you exercise your fundamental rights and vote. As I often said on this platform, that the soul of Jamaica's democracy relies on we, the Jamaican people. The soul of Jamaica's democracy do not rely on other people who's not in Jamaica. The soul of Jamaica's democracy relies on us. We are Jamaicans. We never come here by aeroplane. We came here by labor pain. And this piece of rock belongs to us. And so tonight, as we come on air at 7:30, 6:30 in Jamaica, let us, for once and for all in this country, stand up for this piece of rock that we truly love. And at this defining moment in our history, let us go out there and vote. This is one of the most consequential elections in Jamaica's history. Do not sit at home. Do not sit this out. Do not take any money. And if you do, get up and vote. Get up and vote. Your vote should not be for sale. It is not for sale. Get up, my fellow Jamaicans, and go out there and vote. Without any further ado, let me welcome my co-host, none other than Miss Marie Edwards. Marie, welcome to the program. Not hearing you at all, Marie. Unmute your mic.
Oh, yes. Hi, Jeffrey. Good evening. Are you hearing me now?
Loud and clear from Negril Point to Moran Point and Belmont Road.
Ooh. Of all the places, Belmont Road.
Belmont Road, they need to hear us.
I know. Thank you, Jeffrey, for having me on this nomination evening to talk about the electoral process and the electoral cycle that we're in right now in Jamaica, and the importance of it, and the importance of every Jamaican to take it seriously. Stop sitting on the sidelines and saying you don't know an election, you're not going to vote because your vote don't count. Those who did not vote in 2020 gave the current party 49 seats. I can understand many did not vote because it was in the height of a pandemic. That's understandable. You have no excuses now. You have seen the party in operation in government. You have seen what they have done over the 9 years. What are the things that they have done that you can point to say that has made your life better for them having been there? And at this stage, there can be no talk about the PNP's 18 years in office. The government had 9 years. So they can only be measured by their 9 years in office. After 9, almost 10 years in office, there's no way they can be now talking about what it is that they are going to do. They should be talking about what it is that they have done. And these have to be tangible things that people can point to. And it's not possible for any candidate, especially on the government side right now, to come out and make promises, given that they have had 9+ years to do something. And please stop saying to Jamaicans, believe what I say and not your lived experience. Because a person who has to sit on a chair in a hospital and wait for hours to see a doctor, and when they see a doctor, they cannot get the treatment that they need, you cannot come and tell them that you spend the most money on the healthcare system in the history of the country, because that is not their experience. For the CXC passes, 18%. It went up last year. It went up by 1.2%. No, what 19.2. You cannot come and brag about that.
Yes.
That is nothing to brag. If it was like 10, 15% increase in it, then we could applaud them and say, yes, this is something to celebrate. And we would all celebrate that. You cannot look at the school buses, the buses that you brought in to deal with a crisis that needs to be dealt with, and bring in those buses and not expect people to speak, given that it is their children who will be on these buses, because the children of the persons who brought the buses in from the government will not be utilizing those buses. And so when people speak out, you cannot call them bad mind. You cannot come and say they're stupid. It is disrespectful, because you're basically saying that the persons who are going through the experiences do not know what they're talking about. So they must take what you say as gospel and not their lived experiences. So it is time for everybody to rise above the fray right now. No, it's not the time for dibby gimmick politics. It is not the time. It is a time policies. What are your policies? Present the policies, PNP policies, JLP policies. The PNP has presented a manifesto. You can look at the manifesto and say, okay, this will work for me. Where's the JLP policies? Look at the JLP policies and say, okay, yes, this will work for me. So you have to match, it is policy for policy, not gimmick for gimmick. Because like one person said, the Prime Minister used clerks and rolling up his pants to walk through a river in 2016 to win an election. That is not cutting it anymore, because the people's lives have not been balanced. Talk about the GDP and inflation, and stop saying that Jamaica's inflation has been down. It's not true, because the great United States of America, they're with higher production and manufacturing, all of that, they're experiencing something in the negative. So how can you be in the positive when you don't have any production? See, your import bill is $1.6 billion. So I don't see how you can. So we need to start talking realistically to the people. Stop talking down to them. People understand it is bread and butter issues. You cannot come and talk to a person who has to send a child to school come September morning about macroeconomics when it is micro for them. So you have to meet the people where they are, and for the love of God, respect one another, and people stop tearing down another person's poster, stop tearing down another person, because the same right that you have to support your candidate is the same right that the other person has to support their candidate. So the gutter politics, politics of division, it must stop, because it's getting no one anywhere fast. So we have to rise above that and elevate the conversation, make it about policies and nothing else. And to everybody in the chat, a very good evening.
Yes, thank you very much, Marie. We're having a live feed coming to us from Damien Crawford constituency. And we're going to dip into it as soon as Mr. Damien Crawford begin to speak. We're going to dip into that live feed that we have coming into us from his constituency. We're also going to have Head Boy coming on to us. You can see the sea of orange out there. The sea of orange out there.
Team round here. Because you see in a Lodersville division, with me responsible, I'm a team. Me I put in some great work. Ask anybody boy. Allow me to tell God.
Yes, we're going to break away from that. As soon as Mr. Damien Crawford begins to speak, we will bring that to you live. This is the Mekwe Talk program. We're listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. This is Mekwe Talk current affair program this Monday night. We're going to start off with the nomination today of many of the people who got nominated today. And we're going to speak about that. It was incident free. It was incident free. No one got no one got in any accident and so forth. Basically, to what I hear, it was incident free. We're also going to share with you, there is 6 videos that I have to share with you with none other than Senator Gabriela Morris over there in St. Ann. She was nominated today, and hopefully she and Danishka Williams will bring on that seat for the both seats for the People's National Party. Marie, based on what we have seen today and based on what we have heard today, it is incident free for the Blended Bread of Jamaica nomination day. Your take on all of that?
And that is good. It is good that it is incident free, because at the end of the day, no matter the party that one supports, it's about one Jamaica, so enjoy the political process and all of that, but make it being incident free is a good thing. And this is good to know that. So they have risen above the violence and the antagonism and all of that to make sure that they represent their candidate, they support their candidates, just to make sure the electoral process is free from fair.
Indeed. We're also going to have something what the Prime Minister said in his constituency that I don't understand what is really going on with the psyche of the Prime Minister. Because back in the days when he was in opposition, he used to listen to Don Anderson poll, and nowadays he don't listen to the polls anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, people, we have so many things to unpack this evening. We're not going to spend all night. We're going to end up going through these that we have to unpack. We're going to listen to what the Prime Minister said in his constituency right now.
The truth is, we have commissioned our own polls, and our polls show a scenario that is totally different from what is being painted or portrayed. We don't disclose our polls for good reasons. One of the things, of course, we don't want any complacency to set in. But we have done a poll of 23 seats, and we have used a very large sample, and so we are confident in what our polls have shown.
A large sample doesn't necessarily mean accuracy, though, Pierre.
Generally, the larger the sample, the more accurate it is.
That don't sound like Andrew Holness at all. Marie?
No, he has been very lackluster. The Andrew Holness of 2016, especially, is not the Andrew Holness of now. Because he had the wind beneath his wings, and you would think that as a government, given all that he has said, that they have done all these things, 250 plus achievements, you would think that he'd be more vigorous in defending his achievement, but his lackluster. But the prime minister in 2016, when he was going up against it was Portia Simpson Miller, he supported the Don Anderson poll because it was in his favor. No, that is not in his favor. He's not in support of it, but that is understandable because there are people who have when it's not in their favor, who have come out and said they don't agree with Don Anderson's summation of how people view both political parties right now. But you need to understand that outside of the late Carl Stone's polling, Don Anderson has been credible and he has been doing it for decades. And so he would be, if Carl Stone was alive now and doing it, they would be neck and neck in terms of their analysis of the figures. So I can understand the Prime Minister's position on this, but it's the people who have the say, and they're the ones who are experiencing whether or not his administration has been a benefit to them. And again, he can say he has done all these things. It cannot be more important than the lived experiences of the people.
Indeed. Marie, you have been around a while in Jamaican politics. You have taken part in a lot of political, speeches in Jamaica in the sense of helping, maybe to write speeches and so forth in our country. You have seen many national debate also, where leaders come and debate. The People's National Party is not, in a sense, agreeing with the debating commission to have certain media houses in there. I don't want to get to that as yet. What I want to ask you though, in all of this that we have that is going on in Jamaica now, the nomination day and so forth, when you see the crowd, I keep on telling people that crowd don't win elections. Crowd don't win elections. People come around and follow the party president or the party leader or whatever. That doesn't mean they're going to vote in the general election. Your take on the crowds surrounding the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party. Your views on that? Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
Okay, yes. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now. Go ahead.
Oh,
you're gone
yes.
again. Okay, go.
No,
go. I hear you now. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Yeah, what I'm saying, okay, it is true that crowds do not win elections. Voters win elections. You have to go out and vote. However, there has been a shift in the support for the People's National Party over the JLP in the last year and 3/4, I have to say. And leading up to the local government election, you could see that trending upwards for the People's National Party. Remember now that the PNP was a mockery for the JLP for a number of years. So much so that the chairman of the party, Robert Montague, said that, it's PNP, them pricky and, beat the stick and all, and I can understand it is in jest because of the politics of it altogether. However, people and their experiences have led them to no longer want to support the Jamaica Labour Party. And the messaging from the People's National Party has been exceptionally good. And you cannot take that away from them. And what people have to understand is that the People's National Party has a history of coming up, crafting policies and legislation that benefits the masses of the people. You can go all the way back to Norman Manley, and you can see where policies there, because there are tangible things right now that have been in place, that were put in place by the People's National Party administration. And it is unfair for the government to come and say that the People's National Party has never done anything for Jamaica, when they are in fact putting a roof on top of the pillars of PNP's foundation. So it is unfair to say that, when you can point to agencies and institutions that were put in place by PNP administrations. Mm-hmm. So using the local government, back to what you're saying, local government as a barometer to measure the pulse of where the politics is right now. That was a good measure, barometer to use, because the PNP increased their numbers over 2016 when they had the last local government election.
Yes.
The GLP did not move the needle in terms of their numbers. So, and that is why they have the KSAMC and all the other parties, that the municipalities that they are in control of. So that helped to shift the momentum in favor of the People's National Party.
Mhm.
Also, there are many issues that the JLP did not handle very well that has worked against them. One such issue, NIDS.
Mhm.
How the Prime Minister handled NIDS did not work in his favor, because he was bombastic, he was aggressive when he was up at university, and that young man addressed, talked about his experience, what he envisaged would be, how it would affect him. His approach was not one that was welcoming. He has also how they speak about young people who might find themselves in tough situations, meet your judge or meet your maker. That did not go over well at all. Another thing is how the general approach and behavior of the ministers towards Jamaicans is very dismissive. When you look at the security forces and how they treat Jamaicans. Remember now, it was the same administration that imposed SOEs, states of emergencies. We're using SOEs as a crime-fighting tool, and it was in violation of the constitutional rights of Jamaicans. That did not go forward because innocent young people were put in situations where their reputations were tarnished because of it. There are many young people right now who have become millionaires. It's sad off the backs of taxpayers, but because of what the administration did. So there are many things, that were negatively against the Jamaica Labour Party, while propelling the People's National Party because they were talking to the people. And one thing I have to say that was admirable about the People's National Party, it's how they went back to the grassroots. Because here's the thing, it is grassroots candidate canvassing that wins elections.
Indeed.
You cannot sit in your ivory tower in Kingston and win it. It doesn't work. You have to canvass. You have to work. You have to press the flesh. You have to talk to people. You have to meet them where they are. But above all, you have to be respectful of the people. You cannot talk down to them.
Indeed.
And so that worked for the PNP and has put them in this position. Because the truth of the matter is, if Andrew Holness was in the position that Mark Golding is in now, in terms of having the momentum and having people turn out by the thousands at every meeting, I mean, the PNP would have to sit down and say, this doesn't look good for us.
Yeah.
However, it's a different feel, and I can understand the politics of it, where the Jamaica Labour Party must look at it and say, it doesn't look good.
Yes.
However, it is not over until it's over.
Yes, indeed. We have with us here none other than our good friend Headboy. Unmute your mic and welcome to the program.
Good night to you, Maria. Good night, Jeffrey.
Good night, Headboy. Good to hear you.
Good to hear from you as well, sis. It's good to be associated with you. So I know I'm among the company of giants. So but I want to say thank you very much, Jeffrey, for having me. And I was taking some cues from what Maria was saying. And, today I looked at the nomination, the activities. And certainly crowd doesn't determine an election, but a lack of crowd also can determine it. So, based upon what I saw in some of the battleground constituencies, and people must understand the battleground constituencies, about 20 or 23 constituencies that are considered battleground. Yeah. And so today, when I look in places like West Rural St. Andrew, Manchester Central, East Portland, um, North Northeast Manchester, Southern Trelawney. Southern Trelawney was huge. The turnout there was huge. And so if we should go by what we're seeing on these, Northern Trelawney was huge as well. The people in Northern Trelawney was saying it's the largest nomination they exercise they've ever seen. So judging by that, one can then amply say that from voter intention, because that's what typically happens in those scenarios, from voter intention, it seems as if the People's National Party is winning the voter intention on the ground, not by polls, but on the ground. And so it will be an interesting view to see what happens in the coming days as the campaign intensify. I want to agree with Maria that the messaging certainly for the People's National Party has been one of that thing, which is in fact kept the PNP alive in this race. In fact, it is the only of the two who is campaigning on a message.
Mm-hmm.
The message of the JLP is born bad mind. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear a party campaigning and burning bad mind, yeah, and lies and propaganda, then you realize that it's just a shell. Yeah? And just like how they operate, they only establish shells. They don't really do no business.
Yes.
The JLP is a shell that's not prepared to do governance and deliver issues that is transformational. When you look at the launch of the PNP's manifesto, the inclusion of the disabled community in the PNP's discussion, almost every discussion that is being had around disabilities, the issue around landlessness, and we could list so much. The policies of the PNPs, when you hear Cliff Hughes say, what a good manifesto, then you must know that the momentum is definitely with the people.
Yeah.
When Jerry, as them call him, George Davis, when George Davis could only issue him could find with the manifesto was that there might have been a few misspelled words and not misspelled but misplaced letters, because I think people need to understand when you have printing, misplaced letters is not necessarily misspelled, because if you look at the letter you could tell what was supposed, if you look at the word you could tell what is supposed to be there. So yeah, but we give and take where that is concerned.
Yes.
But on a more light energy note now, I really must commend the people of Jamaica for the way in which I see them reacting. And let me tell you something, Jeffrey. I am sitting down, and every time I come to a number as to the amount of seats that the PNP going to win, Maria, I tell you, I ask myself, boy, I'm going to have to go recalibrate. 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 So, Jeffrey, those are my few words, but I just want to say to the Jamaican people, it's important. Go out and vote. And those who can go back home and vote, go home and vote. It's important. Because why is it important? We have an administration that has made history. Yeah, we have never seen a scenario or a situation where where an administration has had individuals who are known. We don't know these people who have not declared where the Integrity Commission says under investigation for illicit enrichment, except the Prime Minister. So we now need to know who are the others, and we should not have even had a nomination, the exercise, quite frankly, without knowing who those persons are. And when people hear you ask these questions, they think you're being political. I mean, if there were even PNP MPs in the list, in the mix, we need to know. We need to know who these persons are, because it goes to the art of governance, the very core, the very foundation of governance. And so, Jeffrey, my few advice will be to the Jamaican people. I don't afraid to tell you who to vote for at this point. One time I used to tell you, say, I now go tell you who to do it. At this time, I will clearly say to you, you have a choice between good and evil. You have a choice between corruption, corruption and principle and management. You have a choice between self-interest and servitude. Yeah.
Yes.
So the Jamaican people must now decide what do they want, what government do they want, and how will this administration shape not Jamaica for just 5 years, but for decades to come.
Indeed.
I heed to you, my friend.
Thank you very much, Head Boy, for your open commentary. I want to drift away.
Jeffrey, 1 second before, let me just pick up on a few points that Headboard touched on.
You have to make it a bit snappy, Marie. So I just said that to you, but let's press for time. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. No, that's okay. It's another thing because he was talking about the IC, and when you talked earlier about what has shifted from from a JLP to PNP, the integrity issue where the Prime Minister took on him not being certified and taking it, that has played a huge role because people are seeing members of parliament who are so wealthy and it's their member of parliament and the teachers cannot get a pay raise and the salary increase of 200%, that has also factored in. So, they took these things for granted and maybe they thought that over time people would have forgotten, but they have not forgotten. And though he should not, the Prime Minister, based on him being investigated, should not be on the ballot, he is there. So now what? That is the stage that we're in right now.
Indeed. We are going to drift away from nomination day and go over to the Maroons. There's an issue going on with the Maroons, but before we do that, it will be remiss of me not to show a video out of my good friend's seat in St. Anne. She has been duly nominated as running for the next member of parliament for the constituency of is it Northeast St. Anne, Head Boy, that Gabriela is running again?
Oh, no, it's Northwest
St. Anne's. Yes, and we're gonna show you a video of her and flocked by her security detail. I hope I have the right video, and also her supporters. Here we go. I think this don't have any sound, but there it is. There she is. There she is. Senator Gabriela Morris. And that's a little short video we have there. Now we're going to play something for you. The Maroons in St. Elizabeth are having problems with the Jamaican government and the Jamaican authorities, especially those who are the WAF. You know, what they call them again? The people at the WAF, what they call them again, Marie?
No, I think Marie,
customs officers at the wars?
Customs officers. Yes,
customs officers, yes. Custom officers. Apparently they're having some problem with the custom officers there. And I want to play a video here from I think it's the second person command of the Maroons, I'm not sure. But I want to play a video here, and then we're gonna pick up after what the person says on the video, Marie, and speak out some more about it. All right? Here we go. Let's do this now and play this video here.
Assalamu alaikum and greetings. As ambassador for the sovereign state of Akompong, it is my duty to bring matters of import to the Maroon Nation for full transparency and disclosure. One such matter is in regarding to the atmospheric water generator system that we've been anxiously awaiting to be delivered to Akompong town. For the last 4 weeks, we have notified the Ministry of Finance and also the Jamaica Customs Agency, making due time requests for the various concessions that should be applied for our shipments. Our shipment is placed in 2 40-foot containers, and it should be covered under humanitarian aid as a donation to the Akompong Town Maroons. And for the last 4 weeks, we have had no true transparency with the Jamaica Customs Agency as to what is the real tax application that they're applying or tax codes that they're applying to our shipments. Now, in the 11th hour, after reluctantly paying what we consider an extortion, after the manufacturers themselves explained that both containers are holding equipment that is 1 unit of humanitarian aid for their Kong Kong Maroons. The manufacturers are explaining this to the customs agency. For some reason, the Jamaica Customs Agency is now in the 11th hour not accepting the manufacturer's explanation and would like to apply an entirely new tariff on our shipments. This can only be deemed after due diligence as some form of conspiracy, and it is quite unwise for those forces who are trying to slow the progress of indigenous people in Jamaica. This humanitarian aid consists of a water machine, a water generator that will provide water to those in need. This doesn't look good. This is not something that in such a sensitive time needs to escalate more than it has already escalated. I ask that the government of Jamaica, through the Ministry of Finance and the Jamaica Customs Agency, find the necessary people and the necessary information that is needed to release the containers. That is all that it is. We would just like the containers to be released immediately. We look forward that Monday morning that we can have our trucks come and pick up our property.
Murray, hold on there. What is this? Let me take off this off of here because this has nothing to do with it. Hold on a while for me, please. Murray and Headboy, welcome back to the program. You hear the person there from the Maroons speaking about the water equipment that they have, and it's humanitarian aid. Is there something wrong with this video here, Headboy? Because we're trying to figure out something here. I try to get a hold of person from the Maroon, but I'm not getting a hold of them. Headboy, come on in. What is your views on this?
No, Jeffrey, it is.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Mario, go ahead. Sorry, my
All
bad.
right. No, I was saying, yes, and I was saying, this is the problem that the government is having, because the Maroons are indigenous people. Their contribution to Jamaica and their place in the Jamaican society has been taken for granted for too long. They have been abused, they have been used, they have been ridiculed, and they have been treated like they are not a part of the culture in many instances, in too many instances. And this is rather unfortunate that in 2025, they are facing this kind of, for want of a better word, discrimination and abuse from the government, who should be more understanding of the Maroons' place in Jamaican culture, in Jamaican history, in the Jamaican society. So they should be more accommodating to them to make sure that this water treatment gets to them, because it is necessary, it is needed in their community. So I cannot understand for the life of me why they were given the runaround when it, at every step of the way, it was explained to them. And again, the persons in these offices and these agencies need to be properly trained. And that is why transparency and good governance matters. That is why addressing the corruption problem is so important, because corruption has seeped into every facet of the Jamaican society. That at every agency, rather than persons doing their work, doing it effectively and being professional, you have these kinds of problems that are totally unnecessary. So it is unfortunate that they are facing this kind of situation, but I hope going forward that the PNP forming the next government do what they follow through on what they said in making sure the Maroons have representation in the parliament. as senator or in the government, but they must be represented. Their voices must be heard, not just in their community, but in the wider Jamaican society. So people can understand that they are crucial to the development of Jamaica as a society, and their rights must not be infringed upon. For too long, that has been happening. Go ahead, head boy.
And hold on for me, head boy, come on in. But one would have believed that the custom officers and the government of Jamaica would have released this specific equipment for the Maroons, because it is a drought. Drought is on right now, and Jamaica, the Jamaican people, is locked. They don't have any water, yet Jamaica is well renowned the land of food and water. And if somebody can donate an equipment to help the Maroons and help others to get water in their pipe, one would have think that the government should be happy about this. Head boy, come on in.
Well, I'm looking in your chat and I see Gigi Jones say they got it today.
Good.
Yeah. After it was highlighted on Andre Stevens' program, because the chief courier actually came on the program.
Yes.
But what I want to refer to is that the GLP is a transactional government. Yes. When Colonel, and remember, I am speaking now not as a commentator, but I'm speaking as someone who's of my own descent because of where my grandmother is from. Yes. Now, the Colonel, before Colonel Curry, was a JLP counselor. Yeah. When the Colonel then was there, the JLP had no problem with him.
Yes.
Hutchinson was happy. Hutchinson was not being asked, what are you doing for Compound? What representation are you making to the government on our behalf? So everything was nice. And Curry, until Chief Curry came, yeah? And when he came, he started bringing a level of representation, like what you say I start doing in Portland. That level of representation to the issues that the people face. But I want to remind the Jamaican government that it is in fact they're being watched by the United States, because if they must remember, the Maroons were listed as persons in the by the United States government as as persons of indigenous heritage that must be protected. Remember, they signed that agreement with the United States Department, and they were recognized for their contribution to Afrocentric and African culture in the Caribbean. Not just them, not just the Maroons in Jamaica, but also in Suriname, because people must remember there are Maroons in Suriname too. Now, to get to the part of what really hurts me the most, yeah, it is that when you look at the issue with the Maroons, yeah, the JLP made a compound the alternative growing area for ganja, yeah. But because Chief Curry won the election, they have not allowed the alternative license growing program to be added in a compound. Now to the water. Imagine the water has the capacity of not just giving a compound water alone, but those that are below a compound.
The machine,
And
yes.
I know in the heart that Chief Curry has, I know he would not be averse to giving other neighbors around him water.
Yes.
And so you ask yourself, why would a government want to stop a project like this and not give it priority? Because let me tell you something. Miss Scarlett Forrester, who's running down there against the candidate to replace J.C. Hutchinson, is her family is from their compound. If that water system had gone up before voting day, yes, before the election, and it was commissioned, they intended, let me bust out the secret, they intended to invite her to come.
Invite
And
him.
remember, she's going to be treated like royalty. Unlike JC Hutchinson, she is in fact a maroon.
Yes.
Unlike JC Hutchinson. Yeah. So that is their fear, that not only will Chief Curry be given a second term as chief, but that he will also strengthen Miss Scarlett, who has been advocating publicly for better treatment for the people up in a compound. So when you look at this, you understand that this is just how the GLP work. If there's no political points to score from projects, they don't push them. Imagine Desmond Mackenzie go down a same St. Elizabeth. You go open, break ground, break cut ribbon for a toilet. But him couldn't go cut a ribbon down wait name the down a wharf to make sure that the people them back compound get something to drink. What a man. Eh? The man go cut ribbon for toilet, but no one cut ribbon for water.
He soon cut ribbon for the grave them the Maple Cemetery too.
No, I told you, know, my first act that I will see happen in Kingston and St. Andrew is for Maple Cemetery to be named in honor of Desmond Mackenzie. No, I tell Jeffrey, I kid you not. As a young you growing up in Kingston, and Maria, we might be making light here, but on a serious note, as a young you growing up in Kingston, I always had that respect for Desmond of being the man who take care of the cemetery. When it look clean, can remember now, when it look clean, them say see that the mayor clean up the cemetery, and him always make nice. Government must give money for men clean up cemetery. Yeah. And when him clean up the cemetery now, I said, oh, so from as a youth, me had this concept in my mind that cemetery is the legacy of Desmond Mackenzie. And because it is Desmond Mackenzie's legacy, we should not rob him of his legacy. Nothing is only in the West we worry about your name going. Your name on a cemetery is an honor. Is an honor we are giving Desmond. And not because him look like them will live over there. But we are honoring him, yeah, because of his contribution to maintaining that cemetery. But I want people to understand when them say Desmond attack, it could be more than one of them, you know.
Well, because he's a part of the fucking thing.
Anyway, Jeffrey, so that's a light moment though. But you know, on a serious note, they're just taking these things for joke. They're just cutting ribbons for the sake of cutting ribbon with no ends, no sight in end. If Portia had done that in 2016, because the amount of projects Portia had to break, if Portia had cut ribbon like, so remember me tell you, Andrew Holness would not have come back. Yeah? Because if she had used that strategy, I see them using. But the Jamaican people are not fools. And so therefore, any strategy you employ in campaigning must respect the people first. And what the GLP is doing, Maria, and I know you agree with me because I've already exposed these views a lot. What the GLP is doing is that they are insulting the Jamaican people in the approach that they're taking to the campaign, and then expect the Jamaican people to say, yeah, everything is pass.
Hey boy, I know you're going down there to come back up to the Maroons. Let us stick to the Maroons though, and the water thing.
Yes, I am. So the connectivity point is when the Maroons need more protection, they need, and Mark Golin has indicated, and I can say to the Maroons, I have all confidence in Mark Golin, because let me tell you something. A man's word is not just what him say now, it's what him doing at the past. And when you look at I tell people, go and look at the presentation Mark Golin did in Moortown in 2014. Yes, he was a guest presenter there. And he presented to the Maroons. And as Minister of Justice, he committed to doing more protection for the Maroon community. It so happened that the election was not even a year and a half after, and we lost. And nothing happened from then because we must understand from the law, from a legal perspective, the compound and the cockpit belongs to the indigenous people of Jamaica. No matter what no government want to say, they are the tenants. Same like we have crown land, these are the crown tenants. Yeah? And there is and even if Jamaica were to remove the crown, in human rights, the agreement would still have to be honored. Yeah?
Yes, yes.
It will still have to be honored. So them trying to find ways to wiggle room themselves out of this. But once again, I say it's just disrespect. They would not have done that to the Jews in Jamaica. If the Jews were carrying in something that was important for anything that they needed in a religious celebration. And I'm not trying to be an anti-Semite here. So let me just make it clear. I'm not picking on any one group. But I'm just saying that it would have been, they would have given them all the privileges. Yeah, they would have given them all the privileges. And I hand over to you, Jeffrey.
Yes.
Yeah, but Jeffrey, let me piggyback on something Head Boy was saying earlier about, he was saying, why would the government not help the Maroons with their, what they're doing? And he brought up J.C. Hutchinson. But here's the thing, it's the handout mentality. They don't see the people beyond what they can hand out to them. The minute you elevate yourself and believe that I don't need a handout, just give me a hand up, then you become problematic. And that is where people have moved in their politics to say, don't give me a fish. Teach me how to fish. Because then I can fend for myself and my family and then extend it to the community. So J.C. Hutchinson is really redundant in the things that he has said. And representation matters. And the quality of the representation also matters. Because the person before Chief Curry was just a rubber stamp, just anything goes. Yes, yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Whereas Chief Curry was like, no. We have to be represented. Our voices must be heard. So that makes a huge difference. And I do hope. And the thing is, like Head Boy said, Mark Golding, he believes will go through. I do believe that as well, that he will honor, because I don't recall a time in Jamaican politics where the Maroons were so disrespected. I really don't recall that time. And it is rather unfortunate that that is happening to them. They should be edifying, because I remember as a high school student going to the Maroon on a teacher's trip with my dad to learn about their culture. So I don't know when it became a thing for them to be so disrespected rather than their history being taught theoretically and practically.
Yes. Something as we gonna cut off from the Maroons because we have so many things to do tonight. We sit here and we speak about the Maroons, and I don't think the Prime Minister of Jamaica understand that the former British ambassador to Jamaica, or High Commissioner to Jamaica, went up there. I can't remember his name. It was an Indian man. Went up there and spoke about the Jamaica to the Maroons, and wrote and end up reading an article that he wrote from Britain pertaining to the Maroons. And I don't think the Prime Minister of Jamaica understand that the Maroons must be respected. The Prime Minister went up to say, in his arrogancy at Jamaica House during the COVID, that not one single inch of Jamaica will be given to anybody. Not one single inch, with his arrogancy. That's what the Prime Minister of Jamaica portrayed to the Jamaican people about the Maroons.
No, but Jeffrey, and not to chime in, you see, it just shows Andrew Holness' stupidity to the law. Yeah?
Yes.
It shows his ignorance where the law is concerned. Because look at it. Andrew Holness is the first Prime Minister to be having a raucous with the Maroons, Just
first
go back and look.
in this country.
The Maroons have always been secluded to themselves. They come out when we have big celebrations and they participate. To show you how this man is discriminatory. And I think he should be referred for discrimination against the Maroons, because what he did when they had the Grand Gala, not this one again that the other day, the big one, the last time, they did not include the Maroons in the Grand Gala. Remember, they had the Chinese, they had the Indians, they had all of the other contributions, but the Maroons were not allowed to participate.
True.
And I remember people were outraged to say, how could you have a celebration celebrating the legacy and history of Jamaica as a country or as a people, and you don't have the Maroons them participating in it. But Andrew Holness we were told by Christoph that Andrew Holness don't like bright people. And because Chief Curry, and me no love man, but me can't say it, Chief Curry is more handsome than him, more girls love Chief Curry than him, and more young people are flocking to Chief Curry because Chief Curry has made being a Maroon become so attractive. Yeah, young people can say one time the chief them used to hold and shake you when them talk.
Yes.
Yeah. So we see a young, fresh chief and vibrant chief come out in the public. And he has enlightened a lot of young people about the culture of the Maroons. And so that now is the threat. Remember now, Andrew Holness not like nobody was popular than him. Andrew Holness does not like anybody that is popular than him. Yeah? Him not like nobody more popular than him. Jerry Small said that. I remember Jerry Small said the reason why he not like Chief Curry because he's more handsome than him. And Chief Curry look better than him. Yeah? So we understand that by Christoph Tan's admission, Andrew Holness is threatened by bright people and I'll dare say popular people. But all firm Chief Curry, we're with you. And anytime them time coming up, so we don't even have to worry about that. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
Yes, and I'm happy that the Maroons have gotten the piece of equipment. I hope they didn't have to pay for it, I've gotten the piece of equipment because it will definitely help the Maroons. And if the leaders of this country have a clear vision like the Maroons, then Jamaica would have water all through the pipes. We're well known as the land of wood and water, and the Maroons can come together and ask for a piece of equipment and get the water. What is the problem? Go ahead, Marie.
But Jeffrey, why would the Maroons have water when all the other parishes outside of the Maroon territory do not have that? What are you talking about?
Well,
it's Black Tank. So they expect them that they're going to also want to be a part of the Black Tank gang. And the thing with Black Tanks is that they're an environmental hazard. People don't think it is so, but it is so. Black Tanks should never be a replacement for running water in the pipes. I don't understand it. How can people be buying water from a member of parliament to put in a black tank? How can they are walking around and giving black tanks? So Chief Curry, the Maroons not getting that water treatment and for their territory is understandable. Because who else is getting it? Who else has running water? So if they saw beyond the black tank and that water should actually be in the pipes, then there would not be any issue with helping the Maroons to get their treatment water tank.
Indeed. We're going to turn to, we finished with the Maroons and nomination day. We're going to turn to a video of a well-known Jamaican journalist. There is issues going on within the Debating Commission of Jamaica with the two political parties. The People's National Party says that if George Davis of Nationwide and Emily Crooks, formerly of Nationwide, should come onto the Debating Commission to ask questions on debate night, they will not take part in the debate. Clifton Hughes of Nationwide respond to what was put out and respond to the People's National Party. And I want to show you something here. I want to show you the clipping of Clifton Hughes responding to the People's National Party and others, because apparently the JLP says that if that is so, then certain members of other media houses can't come on. And I think the JLP is saying this because they want to pull out of the debate, But anyway, listen to Clifton Hughes.
Where NNN is concerned, they've been attacking us over the last 20 years, over 4 election cycles. They punish us in several ways. They put our lives at risk. from their political platforms in front of their enthusiastic supporters. They encourage them to hate us. They speak openly of shutting down NNN.
My question to you, Mr. Hughes, are you saying that the People's National Party encourage people to hate you? Head boy and Marie, come on in here as we play piece and bit and piece of the video here to make some sense out of it.
No. First of all, Cliff Hughes has, by his own actions, forced the PNP into a situation where they have to come and stand 10 toes down and say, we will not want to be a part of anything. And rightly so, because Cliff Hughes has not operated with journalistic integrity for a very long time. So he made his bed, now he has to lie in it. There are many pieces that he has done. That is not, I would not say represents the ethics of proper journalism, the profession of journalism at all. He has become the mouthpiece for the Jamaica Labour Party, and he cannot deny that. If he had come out and said, maybe, say, own up to not speaking out full-throatedly and giving the PNP the same latitude as they have given the JLP, not only Cliff Hughes, but most of the media houses in Jamaica, then I could understand that. But to come out and be antagonistic towards them, they have every right not to want anybody from Nationwide Network to be a part of it. Rightly so. I'm sure there are other journalists in Jamaica that can do that, or they can find persons who are not journalists, who are in the civic society from the university to be a part of it, but certainly not Nationwide New Network, and no one has threatened their lives. This thing with the shooting up the car on their premises, why has there been no investigation? We have heard nothing further about that. And also, no one hates Cliff Hughes or his staff. However people feel about their reporting, they are the ones who brought it on themselves. So you cannot fault a person for saying you are not fair and balanced in your reporting, and they have not been fair and balanced in their reporting. It is a fact, but it's not hate.
Yes. Head boy? Unmute your mic, head boy.
Yes, Jeffrey.
Go ahead.
Right. Sorry. I in reference to who is this calling me? 1 second. In reference to No, I was listening. In reference to Cliff Hughes, right?
Yes.
Now, let me tell you something. I remember a Cliff Hughes threatened to box Dayton Campbell in our mouth, Yeah?
Yes.
Dayton Campbell never threatened to box Cliff Hughes in his mouth. And I'm going to say it as it is. Yeah? Cliff Hughes, if you are seeking asylum, it's easy for you, sir. The Canadian embassy is at West Kings House Avenue. Yes? Go right there and tell them you want asylum. Do not come and mix the People's National Party in your nigger house business. Because what you're coming and what you're doing now is gaslighting. You are now saying that the People's National Party is attacking Nationwide. How the hell George Davis must be a judge in the debate when George Davis has made it clear in his opinions and his speech that he wants the JLP to win the election? Let's be real. Is George Davis the only journalist we have in the media? As bad as things be and as bad as people have views of Emily Shields, I would feel more comfortable having Emily Shields judging the debate than George Davis. Yeah? We need to done this nonsense and stop because Cliff Hughes, let me tell you something. If you're looking aid, if you're looking development aid, I'm sorry to tell you, the USAID has closed under Donald Trump. Yeah? So there's no more of your kind of money. That, by the way, we need to investigate if those USAID funds that were earmarked for a particular matter went into Cliff Hughes' radio station. It would be interesting to know. So if you are seeking political asylum, we can arrange it for you, sir. It's not hard. Yeah? So go to West King's house. That's all I have to say to him. I will not even give him no better comment than that.
We're going to play some more of what Mr. Hughes went on to say.
And that has become even more so with the September 3 elections looming. Well, I want you to hear me. After 20 years, you have not succeeded, and you will never succeed in silencing us. We are facing an existential threat as a media organization from the People's National Party. My staff.
I have to stop there.
It's gaslighting, Jeffrey. Jeffrey is gaslighting people.
Mr. Hughes, Mr. Clifton Hughes, I never normally comment on whatever you say, sir. And let me make this categorically clear to you, Mr. Hughes. I am not a member of any political party in this country. I used to listen to you. I used to listen to your news. I used to listen to your journalism work and how you analyze things and comment on things in this country. And when I hear you tonight, because you said this today, when I hear you said, let me play back this what this man said a while ago. Hold on there, listen to this.
My staff feel threatened,
no,
abused,
you need to stop it.
Verbally attacked. They even fired shots at our location.
Are you saying, Mr. Hughes?
No.
Are the PNP fire shot at your location?
No.
But Jeffrey, Cliff Hughes really come back with this? He really come back with this? No, honestly, Cliff Hughes really come back with it?
He's trying to intimidate people, head boy. He's trying to intimidate people, and him using it to gaslight people. It might, prompt the government through the Minister of National Security and the Commissioner of Police to want to, I don't know, cause the members of the JCF to antagonize people in the People's National Party. What Cliff is saying is so sad. It's disingenuous, and he shouldn't bring up the shooting up of that should not be brought up, because up to this day there has not been any investigation, no ventilation of that particular issue. So that's a non-issue, and his staff feel threatened because people speak their minds and say, no, we don't want to be a part. We to be a part of this thing. We will not participate because of your actions. No, this is a stretch for Cliff. I'm sorry.
I tell you something. On my way home this morning, driving home on I-95, Nationwide started at 6 o'clock this morning. I've been on the road from 2 o'clock last night. This morning, rather. From 2 o'clock, I've been on the road. And I was driving home. And I switch my system to Nationwide every morning early to listen to what they're saying. And I heard Mr. George Davis said that he will not comment on the issue that is facing the broadcast, not about the debating commission, and also about he not being a part of it, because he said that at 4 o'clock this morning, he and the CEO of Nationwide News, NNN, Mr. Clifton Hughes, had a conversation. So he did not comment on it. And I was like, what is this all about? Anyway, I continue listening, and he continued what he's doing. And I heard Mr. Hughes this afternoon, but I was on my program, so I didn't get the chance to listen to him at 10 o'clock this morning, rather, 10 o'clock. And to listen to Mr. Hughes now saying these things, I have lost respect for Clifton Hughes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Regardless
He's
of
better than this.
regardless of what he may have done in the past when it comes on to investigative journalism, when it comes on to commentary about anything happening in this country. Mr. Clifton Hughes, I have the utmost respect for you, sir, as a journalist in this country, but I think I've lost respect for you now because of what you're saying here. Listen to this, people. Listen to what Clifton Hughes is saying, that we need to take heed in this country. Listen to this.
They speak openly of shutting down NNN.
No. Well, it should be.
And that has become even more so with the September 3 elections looming. Well, I want you to hear me. After 20 years, you have not succeeded, and you will never succeed in silencing us. We are facing an existential threat as a media organization from the People's National Party.
Stick up in there. I wonder if Mr. Hughes listened to what he said. I wonder if Mr. Hughes consulted a lawyer before he came out and speak this morning.
No, Jeffrey. No, he didn't consult a lawyer because that was the playbook that was given to Cliff Hughes. Yes? Let me tell you what is hurting Cliff Hughes. When Cliff Hughes get up today and see Marissa Darimple Filbert a struggle to find people to carry, go nominate her in a South Trelawney, I would have feel away. I would have started blame the PNP for them doing for 20 years too. Yeah? So the reality of it is, Jeffrey, Cliff Hughes sounds like somebody who senses that his football team is about to lose. And him start talk about who did use underage, overage player, who never eligible. Yeah? So let me this man is a sore, he sounds like a sore, bitter loser. But you know the thing, I don't want to give Cliff Hughes any more recognition, Jeffrey, and I'll tell you why. This is by design why Cliff Hughes came out with this. He's using this to look sympathy to the middle class of Jamaica, who particularly would listen to some of his radio stations. A lot of them have left him over the years because of his behavior. But there's still a few who will still listen to him and still take gospel from him. Yeah? And he's now like a drowning man clutching at a straw. Because this is in classic communication. This is straw man. All of what he has said is straw man. The police has not confirmed that the PNP had anything to do with the shooting at Mr. Hughes' station. Yes? No. A matter of fact, if I were Cliff Hughes, I would never open my mouth about that shooting because the fact of that shooting is not quite settled yet. So, proceed, Jeffrey. This man is a sore loser, man.
But head boy and Jeffrey.
Yes.
Could it be, because there are two major issues facing Chris Hughes, which has nothing to do with journalism. One has to do with whether or not he owed taxes to the tune of over $1 billion. The jury's out on that. I stand corrected, but it has been reported in many places, right? And there was some reprieve for him. There's talk about NHT payments to workers and all of that. But another one is that he's moving from his current space to someplace else. So could he be using this as a way to gin up support for himself? Like you said, headboard, to get sympathy, gin up some support for himself, to aid in this move to the new space, because what he's saying does not hold water. And it is not fair if somebody was doing this to the Jamaican Labour Party, I would say the same thing. It is not fair to come out and say this about the People's National Party when there's no proof of such. All the
No, but
things that
Mhm.
Cliff Hughes is talking about is self-inflicted.
Yes.
So what's his problem? He cannot be blaming some. You see, this is the thing, Cliff Hughes throws the stone and then hides his hand because he's behaving like people are. Nobody's attacking him. People coming out and using their right, the constitutional right to free speech, and saying we don't appreciate some of the things you say. And some of the things that he has said is really you listen to him and the facts are in front of his face, and he's giving you alternative facts. And so they don't want to be a part of what you if you're being a part of the debate, the PNP is well within their right to say so, and they have reasons, pointing out reasons to you why they don't want to, and they're it is fact. These are facts. So you cannot be upset with them and then come with some alternative things to talk about. This is the why, and they're threatening you. Nobody's currently.
But Mario and Jeffrey, you know that I am a very direct person. Cliff Hughes is leaving his radio station. They have given him eviction for not paying his rent for 6 months. What Cliff Hughes is doing, yeah? He remember now when he go down a digital building, he might go play square footage in US dollar.
Right.
Where am I go? I am certain that because he's not going to have the perks, even if him do have no Jamaica, still have no advertisements previously from the government and contracts tied in, all of that will come to an end on the 15th of September, which is the parliamentary end of the life. Yeah?
So
no.
It's a distraction. It's a distraction from the issue.
He knows this. So he's now moving to digital. I can tell you, within less than 6 months, Cliff Hughes can't afford to pay him bills down there. And his station is going to virtually have to be closed. But he's setting up the straw man. Because when I set it up for that, when it happens, him can have a case to say. And you have some mumu, as they would say in certain places, some kunumunu that is in social media who will run with this sympathy argument to see that Cliff Hughes, the PNP don't want to shut down. Sir, you can run your station. You could have open 5 more if you want. We don't care. But what we can tell you is you will never be getting one damn advertisement from out of the office of the Prime Minister. You with your disparaging remarks to Mark Bolin, and you expect that office of the Prime Minister should give you who have the lowest listenership in Jamaica contracts? Man, move on, go, man. And you know why it hurt me with this man, Jeffrey? This man maligned PJ Patterson's name. He maligned my friends from the Cuban embassy. He said that the Cuban ambassador was smuggling money into Jamaica. Do you understand what that means in the diplomatic community for a journalist to accuse an ambassador, an attaché of a government? Cliff Hughes has gotten away with too much things in Jamaica and people have overlooked it. Let me tell you something, sir. Your Waterloo come and the lady named Karma come visit you. And let me tell you, hurry up and go. When you go, no shut the door upon nobody. Go ahead. Because a long time you have to go. And if you're selling the station, I have a buyer. So we're available. Only thing we're going to take out the seat them. We don't want the seat that we sit down in.
I will buy the station. A group of us want to buy the station.
Yeah, we'll buy the station, no joke.
You know?
But we'll have first thing we'll have to bring prayer warrior in there.
Yes, man.
You'll have to sanctify it. And you will have to bring the termite company. Because they will have to spray out a lot of infestation of termites, you know. And you know, there's a similarity with termites. You know why they call those termites chichi? Okay. Yes, man.
I want to listen to the entire speech. Then we switch over to the Jamaica food import bill hit a recording high of US $1.6 billion under the leadership of the ministerialship of Floyd Green, if there's such a word to say ministerialship, of Floyd Green, Barbara Green. And that is why the people of St. Elizabeth must not vote back for Barbara Green. The people of St. Elizabeth must not put in back Barbara Green. This man has done nothing for the agricultural sector, he has done nothing for St. Elizabeth. And I think the people of St. Elizabeth must wake up now and send Floyd Green packing. Let's listen to the rest of what Mr. Hughes has to say and go over to agriculture.
My staff feel threatened, abused, verbally attacked. They even fired shots at our location. And we have not bowed. We will not bow or cower to you. We will stand proudly with our professionalism intact. We'll continue to cover you all fairly in our news bulletins, in our commentaries, but we will never be intimidated or bow to you. Jamaica demands no less of us. My late great headmaster, Wesley Powell, told me, as a 12-year-old boy in 1974, entering Excelsior for the first time, you're all here because of your country. Your country is financing your education. You have a duty to make the best of that opportunity and to serve your country. I have chosen to serve my country as a journalist and broadcaster, public commentator.
Hold on, Mr. Hughes. Are you saying that our country is financing your radio station?
I don't serve political parties. We will not bow to you. Stop it. After 20 years, you ought to stop it by now. Learn. Time for the break.
So are you saying after 20 years, Clifton Hughes, that the PNP is trying to stop you? Wow. Wherever you're listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean, this is the Make We Talk program. The time is now 8:50, 7:50 in the land of wood and water. And we're going to switch gear now and speak about the agricultural department in Jamaica. I have with me none other than Marie Edwards and Head Boy. They are my co-hosts tonight. And we're going to speak about Jamaica agricultural sector and what he has done for Jamaica and what the Ministry of Agriculture have done for Jamaica and did not do for Jamaica. So let's go over to the agricultural part of the program now to speak some more about the agricultural part of the program. Then we're going to invite Marie and Head Boy to speak about their take on the agricultural sector in Jamaica. I won't go into a whole details of this tonight. What I will speak about is government allocated over $1 billion to boost local food production, and Jamaica import bill soars to an all-time high of $1.6 billion in 2024. Let me show you something here. And this article is July to August 2025 in the agricultural newspaper out of Brooklyn, New York. There is a part of it that I want. What's going on here? Not tonight, please. Okay, here it is. Let me read something here. Animal feed, 88.6 million US. Rice, 70.5 million US. That's there. Listen to this now. Other major food import during 2024 include animal feed of $88.6 million, rice, $70.5 million, Cash produce on fish is 69.4 million. Sugar, sugar, 67.9 million. Wheat, 58.5 million. Cooking oil, 56.5 million. Potato. Why are we importing potato into Jamaica? Head boy and Marie, come and tell me here. Why are we importing?
Jeffrey. But
at 40,
Jeffrey.
hold on for me. At US $46.9 million. Go ahead for me.
Yes. But let's go back up to the beginning of the article, food import bill, US $1.6 billion.
Yes.
In 2024, a 16% jump over 2023. So the bill rose by 16 percentage points in 2024.
From US 1.38 billion to record 2023. Yes, go ahead, yeah.
So look at some what has contributed. Look at the things that they are importing. Apart from that, food preparation items, US 89.5 billion in 2024.
Million,
you know what
not
these
billion,
food
million.
preparation items are?
Yes.
Processed and semi-processed food mixtures, seasoning blends, baking premixes, mixes, soup bases used in commercial and household meal preparation. Now remember, Jamaica has a high diabetes rate, hypertension, heart disease, and all kinds of cancers. And processed food and semi-processed foods have contributed is $89.5 billion of the food import bill. And you have an agricultural community. You have so many farmers, you have arable lands, you have farmlands. Why is there not fresh food on the table? How is this helping the society? So you see why the country it cannot go forward because of this madness, because they're spending $1 billion on local food production, but they're importing more than they're spending on local food production. That make some sense. And they're importing potatoes. But when you have, and what we'd like to know is how many members of parliament have import licenses for food items like potato.
One in St. Anne's have it named Lawrence.
Right. There's a member of parliament in St. Thomas who has been accused of having import licenses for potato and onions. What does that do to the farmers in St. Thomas? And you have Floyd Green walking around and talking about all the wonderful things that are happening. Your import bill is $1.6 billion, an increase of 16% in a year. In a year.
But Mario,
there are no changes.
I want us to do comparative, because this is the JLP loves to talk about the PNP and the 10 year and the 20 years of the PNP, or the 18 years, sorry, of the PNP. When Roger Clark left the ministry of blessed memory, and I'll always honor my good friend Roger, who was one of them PNP comrade. When you see Roger always say, we have one, no? So, and you know, Roger always have one. And I want to say, Roger did something that was big in Western St. Mary. And Roger made millionaires out of young people in Western St. Mary through Irish Potato. When he launched the National Irish Potato Competitive Program, young people from Guysville, Jessica, Gale, all over in places up in Clarendon, certain climate, they were growing Irish potato. Did you know in 2014, we were 98% sufficient in Irish potato? That is table Irish potato, because you have the one for the chips. We were 98% sufficient in it, because nobody now have to tell me when Roger Clark come and St. Mary come break the ground. Me up there because me and him drink the manish water. And he broke that ground and a famous property for a big farmer up in the hills. What is happening now is that the import, yeah, they have allowed people who are their financiers, such as a chain, a big supermarket chain, that took government land over in Bernard Lodge and said they were going to use the 400 acres to set up the largest farm in the Caribbean. And they would have satellite farmers around them. To this day, the man has not even planted 4 acres. Yeah? But he still has a lease from sugar, from SAJ, Sugar Authority of Jamaica, or the one that Shukia leads. Yes?
Yes.
Sugar holding, that hold the land. Now, when you look at these things that is happening, farmers can hardly have access to agricultural land because all of the lands that were irrigated in St. Catherine previously for cane, they are now taking them and giving them to them friends like leeching. So when we see this high import bill, we have to understand that it is because there is no policy in place. So when the PNP talk about the setting up the agricultural development fund, it is important that the farmers in Jamaica understand that why agriculture is treated the way it is treated is because there are those who are in government who don't believe that the man who got dirty up him hand and him foot and him shoes should be on par with them. Yeah. Remember, there was a time when you were a farmer in Jamaica and every woman want you. Yeah. Now, what they did to the coffee farmers, what they did to the onion farmers, what they have done to the Irish potato farmers, and what is being done to, much pineapples are being wasted in Northwest St. Elizabeth in Ginger Hill?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
there's
True.
no storage facility. How could Floyd Green, as Minister of Agriculture, the longest serving Minister of Agriculture outside of Roger Clark, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How could he be the Minister of Agriculture and has not opened a cold storage facility in the belt of St. Elizabeth? With all the big friends them that them have, why them never offer the services to the farmer? My thing is they don't want the farmers to plant because the farmers would be stopping their import business. Because one thing with Jamaicans, if them go in at the store and then see local food and it look good, them a pick up the local food. So this is the issue. But then this man signed to the CARICOM 2025 food thing where say we're supposed to import a food bill by 25%. But this man has doubled our food bill by about 16 to 17%.
I am
So
telling
we
you.
really have a government, Maria and Jeffrey as I yield, that just don't care for the farmers. But I say to the farmers of Jamaica, you have now a government who is serious, that is incoming government, and Dayton Campbell who is serious about helping farmers because we know farming make millionaires in America. Farming make millionaires in every else country except Jamaica. So we must be doing something wrong and we have to correct it. I yield to you.
I want you to address the people of St. Elizabeth tonight. I want to go back to that. And one of the reasons why I want to do it, and I don't care who want to vex with me tonight, I'm on a campaign that Floyd Barber Green must not go back into Parliament and sit down. He must not become the next member of Parliament again in St. Elizabeth. When Floyd Green can give one of his former member of Parliament, former parliamentary colleague, import license to bring in potato, and Jamaica potato import bill stands at $46.9 million. $46.9 million US dollars. While the farmers in St. Elizabeth can't sell the potato. Huh? Floyd Green, Barber Green allow people to import potato into Jamaica. And he go around and tell how they love the poor. And go around with his mouth filled, appear lies to the farmers of St. Elizabeth. While the import bill in this country stand at US $1.6 billion. And potato out of the 1.6 billion is US $46.9 million. Beef is at $40.4 million. Huh? Banana and plantain chips, US 17 million. What the dickens is going on in this country? Banana chips. So you're saying to me no local person in Jamaica can make banana chips? You hear, boy, and Marie?
You want to know a joke? JP, Jamaica producers, have moved their banana chips factory from in Jamaica. You never know?
No.
No.
Because they sent me, so stick up in their head, boy. They sent me banana chips and the chippies. They're not, it's product of but not made in Jamaica.
No.
I beg your pardon?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
So when the next time you buy a pack of St. Mary's banana chips or chippies, you look at its product of but not made in. Yes.
Yeah. They moved the processing facilities down to Trinidad. And that is as a result of our competitiveness with electricity. But it's not that. It's not that. JP don't want to pay the farmers for their bananas. Yeah? And so what them do now, them go down to Trinidad and they get, because they're right in the South American belt, so they get the cheap banana from places like Ecuador, Honduras, all over in that belt that is around the Latin American belt, between Venezuela and Central America. And they take that, produce it, right? And label it as, because chippies, I know the chippies factory up in Gale, up in the hills at St. Mary. And nothing is happening there. But chippies is still around. Yeah? There was even a family dispute. But I leave that alone because I know quite a lot. So when you come on to banana and you touch St. Mary, you say banana, I can tell you what JP did. They tricked the government and tell them clear out some of the banana they had and said they were going to plant pineapples. Acquired more land in St. Mary, so they are going to plant pineapple. And now, them don't even plant off most of them land for pineapple. You know what they keep in the land for? Housing.
My God. This is not right. This is not right. And the people of St. Elizabeth must wake up and send Floyd Green a clear message on September 3rd. Potato, I think as potato Floyd Green. I think as potato Floyd Green. $46.9 million US dollars to import it in the country, while the people say the potato can't sell. Go ahead, Marie.
You need to understand, Jeffrey, that.
Give me a minute there. Go ahead. Go ahead. Give me a minute there.
Yeah. You need to understand that they do not see the Jamaican people better than where they have them right now.
Yes.
Because they're not getting any pushback in any meaningful way from the local farmers, demanding of them markets for their produce. You're not getting any pushback from the Jamaican people to say, we don't want what is in this, we want to go to the market and buy fresh produce. So they're not getting, so they just take it for granted.
Yes.
That's what the Jamaican people want. But they're not serious about helping people, and they like to see them poor and uneducated and uninformed, not edified about the issues, about policies that benefit them, because then they can, when they come around, they can say, what boss, give me a thing, no boss, and that feeds their ego. So these people are egocentric. They are driven by their ego. So they don't really care. They want the vote, but they don't really care to do anything substantive that the farmers can point to and say, you know something, yes. You know what is success for these people? Giving one woman a donkey. giving one woman what they call it, a defeatherer for chickens, giving one person a cow. That is success for them. So the collective success where you have farmers having markets for their produce. You know what is a good source, a good market for farmers too? The school feeding program. They're behaving
Exactly.
like the school feeding program was always about Nutribon and Mula. It was and milk. It was never that. It
Yes.
was always a hot meal, and students were never segregated to say the poor children get the hot lunch, and it was never that. There was always a hot meal in school for all students, because when you went to school in the morning, remember the schools had gates that were closed. So when the
Right.
school gate closes, the place that you would be able to go and buy a snack at break time would be at the tuck shop or at the
Yes.
school gate, right? And when lunchtime came, the students didn't leave to go for lunch because lunch was provided at school. So the
Right.
different grades would line up to go and get a hot
That is
lunch.
correct. And we used
So
to
it's
allow the
nothing new.
grade one students to have first, and the bigger students would go
Exactly.
last. I remember, yes.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Right? So the school feeding program was never about Nutribon and milk. It was about a nutritious meal. And you know who fed those school feeding programs? The local farmers.
Yes.
So there was a place for the yam and the cocoa and the dasheen and breadfruit and the chicken who raised chicken, and many schools also had a school farm. So that was when agriculture was taken seriously by the government. No, it's not taken seriously by the government. It is because it taken seriously in the sense that it benefits the persons who
Yes.
are in the upper echelons of society, but not the local farmers in St. Elizabeth and in Clarendon and in St. Thomas and in Portland. They don't count. But they are quick to take away the arable lands from these people, turn them into concrete, and leave them with nothing. That is where it is right now. And you
But
have
when you look
a
at
minister who says he spends the most money.
but one of the things that agriculture has, and I think we need to be real with ourselves. We have never seen the politicization of agriculture. You know,
True.
one of the
True.
things when we respect about Roger Clark, and I will say it, and I'm sure if Councillor from the Balaclava division, Comrade Fisher, is hearing me, he would be happy to hear that I'm paying respect to our good friend Raja. I know how me love Raja. Raja was like, for us young people that grew up around the PNP, Raja was that quintessential man. That man who would say to you, yo, if a education, you say education, and he would mentor young people. And I remember I asked Raja a question one day, and I said to Raja, how comes you in politics? You have made all these monies, you have had all these, Raja had a lot of properties as well. And I said, but how comes you still love farming? You know, Raja look at me and tell me, him say, look, name every billion, him name couple billionaires that I knew. Him said, him call the Buffett and him call some others. And him say, no, them start out in a farming. And I think what we had a chance, because that minister was such an energetic minister, to build a campaign around building back brand Jamaica. Right now, our food is having difficulties entering the United States because of tariffs that is being imposed. We have right at our backyard, Africa, Ghana,
Yes.
places like
Yes.
Ghana, Liberia, which is right close to us. Why aren't we, with all of these produce we have down here, let me tell you, anything we label from Jamaica enter Ghana, it fell off. Me not asking you.
True.
The
True.
Ghanaians love Jamaicans, and they love everything Jamaican. It is now time for us to diversify our market. We stop selling raw produce like chocolate and coffee. Why are we sending away our coffee and our chocolate to be processed by somebody else? We need to look at value added agriculture, down to the apple them want drop off a ground, the breadfruit them. We need to get into the processing side, the value added, until we get to upscaling and come out of agriculture just being this primary industry. Yeah, we need to get to the secondary stage of production where we now look at revolutionizing factories across. Because look at this, the SDC. Do you know that under this government, why agriculture has suffered is that the SDC had suffered? The SDC used to play a critical role in the communities with the ladies them for the processing of them jams and them different stuff. So when SDC, we through Jampro and partnership with the SDC, what has the JLP done? They have taken Jampro and turned Jampro into an agency where just only deal with people who invest. There is no looking at developing local products. Jeffrey, we cannot grow unless our GDP grow. I urge every single person who is listening as I yield, go and check what is happening in Ghana. Go and check our man by the name of John Mahama, second term president. He had a first term before. Has come into office, inherited a dollar, a SEDI, which was at 100 and something to 1. You know how much it SEDI is today? 32 to 1 in less than a year. Because Ghana took the radical decision to take hold of its resources, including the gold, yes, and say, no, you can't take out the gold here, process it. Then they have said, we are now going to reduce our export of cocoa. We're going to process at least 25% of our cocoa. Ghana is the largest cocoa producer, next to Cote d'Ivoire. So these things we are seeing happening around us. There's a revolution happening in the belt of Africa where Africans like ourselves are stepping up to claim what is rightfully theirs. And what is Andrew is doing? Playing Tom, Uncle Tom, and Oreo Cookie. Yeah? They are so caught up in making profit with and associating themselves with so-called rich people that they have forgotten the base of the society. And no society can grow up. It has to grow from bottom up. Yeah? That's how you grow. I yield to you.
Yeah, but head boys,
go ahead, Murray. Go ahead.
Yeah, as I talk about Roger Clark, they used to call him the Red Pole Bull when he comes.
Red Pole Bull, yes, man.
Yeah. And it was the nicest person you could ever, come across. And the rest is dead, rest his soul. But what about you see, agriculture doesn't operate in a vacuum, you know. You need agencies. You need the cooperative. You need the Social Development Commission, like you talked about. You need RADA. You need all these extension officers that used to go out and help the farmers. If those are not in place, how can the government get a full understanding of what is really happening to local farmers in the various communities? Because every parish, you know, has different things that is unique to that parish. So that data would only come from extension officers.
Yes.
So the agencies are critical to the agricultural sector. And if those agencies are not operating at its optimum, then you're not going to have farmers will not be successful. They will never be successful. So where are the agencies? Why have there not been investment in the agencies to help the local farmers? Because the other day I saw with the member of parliament for East Rural St. Andrew, I think it's East Rural, Juliet
East Rural, that's correct.
Giving out chickens, right? Why was she giving out chickens? She's not RADA. And these chickens were 5 years old because they was applied for in 2020. Now they're being given out in 2025, which is kind of redundant and was so you look at it and on the face of it, it is so political. And you have to say to yourself, why ask the question, why is she doing this when you have RADA? Nobody should be applying to a member of parliament for anything for their farm when you have the Rural Agricultural Development Agency, which was created by a PNP administration, though when you listen to Andrew Holness, you wouldn't believe that anything was done. And the question that I'd like to ask him when he says that is, okay, so you said the PNP did nothing, they left nothing for you. What are the agencies that you have created in the last 9 years and institutions that are tangible institutions that people can go to get services that they need to make their lives better? What are the institutions? When did you start them? Year, give me date and time. You understand me?
Yes.
And if you're going to talk about the people, I would say then
Admat.
Edward, you know, if I would say, and to counter his point, if you should say, when do you ask him, when did you create the PATH program? When did you create RADA? When did you create the used car legislation? When did you? He could not own up to it because he did not. So it is unfair to say that they did nothing. No administration gets it 100% right, but the PNP got even up to, you can go up to 75, 80% of agencies and institutions that were put in place that are still in use to this very day. So going back to the agricultural argument, we have to get back to the agencies that can be on the ground. Everything cannot happen in Kingston, you know, Jeffrey and Head Boy.
Yes.
It cannot be centered in Kingston. The farmers are in St. Elizabeth. They're not in Kingston. They're in Clarendon. They're in Hanover. They're in Trelawney. What happened to the Trelawney Land Yam Festival? There are things that used to happen that benefited farmers. When Denby Show, when during Independence celebration, Denby Showground was a huge thing where people the farmers used to go and showcase who had the biggest yam, potato, all those things. So if they remove, when you remove these essential agencies that will provide opportunities for farmers, what are you left with? You don't know what is really happening on the ground. So it is easy for Floyd Green, the Minister of Agriculture, to show up for a photo op. It's just a photo op. When he leaves, the reality is really still there. The reality is there. So it is not a joke. The lives of the Jamaican people is not a photo op. It's reality. And people need to get real.
And something struck me a while ago in the Agricultural Weekly newspaper that is out of Brooklyn, New York. I think it's Brooklyn. I'm not sure. I think it's Brooklyn. Up here, let me read this thing right here. Michael Leachin, chairman of the Mavis Bank Coffee Factory Limited and Wales Ford Coffee Company Limited, has extended congratulations to Dr. Norman Grant on earning his Doctor of Business Administration in Original Leadership and International Business from Wales University. Now tell me something now. There is nobody at Mavis Bank's Coffee Farmers can get chairmanship? Is only Michael Leachin could get it? What's going on in this country?
Because he's the owner of Mavis Bank Coffee Factory. So let me tell you what happened. Right? And let me tell you, you know this one get me vexed. Right? Very vexed. Michael Leachin went up to Flamstead in 2016. I'll never forget it. After Juliet Holness won and Andrew Holness won, Juliet campaigned in East Rural St. Andrew that she would give the farmers more for their coffee. She flied Leachin Upper Flamstead. Nobody now tell me. I was at that meeting. Joan Gardner-Webley was at the meeting. I could call some of the prominent coffee farmers in the country that was at the meeting. Yes? And when I attended the meeting, Jeffrey, and we left, if Joan was here as my witness, she would tell you. Joan looked at me and Joan said to me, "This is the end of coffee." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Once you see the one day they come, that's the end of coffee." What Leachin did to coffee farmers in Mavis Bank and throughout Jamaica is one of the wickedest things anybody could do to Jamaican coffee. Leachin bought Mavis Bank Coffee Factory from a financial group that had interest in it. They divested themselves out of it and buy it for $30 million. Yeah? Now, he's in problems paying back his shareholders in the Mavis Bank coffee factory. That's one. So right now, any day you can hear say Mavis Bank coffee factory up for sale, and we don't know who from where you were Kentucky. When Leachin bought the factory, coffee was 18,000 a box. And in some instances, 22, because they had the fire had burned in East Rural St. Andrew in 2013. Yeah? And because Jamaican coffee was so scarce, the demand caused the price to go up. And the farmers were getting a good price. And from that price has not come down. When Leachin bought the coffee factory and the international market, coffee was being traded at $60 to $70 a pound. Jamaican specialty coffee, Blue Mountain coffee. Do you know how much it is trading now? At $200 and something a pound. And Leachin, when he went to the factory, started telling the coffee farmers, "Me can only offer you 8." And then he went down to 5. And then he went down to 3. And Miss Wellness go up on our Facebook and celebrate, so then bring it back to 6. But the coffee farmers were getting 18 and 20,000 and 22,000 depending on where you were in the Blue Mountain and what your quality test was when they do the floating. Yeah. So when you look on this thing that has happened to the coffee farmers, Leachin came in there to shut down coffee, and I'll say it with no water in my mouth, to shut it down in the hope that other coffee farmers, which is what is happening in some rural parts of Jamaica now, would cut down them coffee and he would be the lone coffee producer in Jamaica. I say so with no apologies. Yes? And what he did to us, we must never forget. When he buy Mavis Bank Coffee Factory, Wallingford Factory is lowland coffee. So that's coffee we grow in a Clarendon and them lowland places. Yeah? Not Blue Mountain coffee. He mixed the Wallingford coffee with the Blue Mountain coffee, sold it to the Japanese, and the Japanese were vexed, blue vexed, because they had future trades with us. What do you think that happened? The Japanese vexed and reduced their purchasing of Jamaican coffee. And that is what he did to lick out the ordinary man out of the industry. And I yield to Maria and Jeffrey. But I just wanted to set that context. And Juliet Holness, the largest coffee farmer growing MP, she and James Robertson and the other Juliet, yeah, and Darrell Vance have not done anything except to keep Coffee Festival up Halliwell, like Coffee Festival can sell coffee. I yield to you.
You know, I have to go back to this here. Jamaica's import bill stand at 1.6 billion. Leachin bought out the coffee factory in Mavis Bank. Floyd Green allowing importation of potato into Jamaica. And the bill stand at $46.9 million. While the people of St. Elizabeth can't sell the potato. Banana chips, because of the high electricity bill in this country, Jamaica importing banana and plantain chips at the estimate of $17 million US. So in all of this is going on, beef bill and codfish, $40.4 million. You know something? I think they should change Jamaica's national dish to only ackee alone, you know. Because the poor Jamaicans can't afford saltfish. Maria and Edward?
Saltfish. Pam pam tanam pana pana saltfish.
Head boy, education can't eat about saltfish can't eat, so you stop it. But here's the thing.
Well, we can't eat it. We can't eat it now because we can't afford it.
Can't afford it. There you go. But do you remember the name? You're speaking about coffee farmers. Head boy, do you remember the name Keebleman?
Yes.
Of course. Prominent coffee farmer, one of the biggest families in coffee.
Yes. And you're talking about it, but I don't recall when I don't know if they still have that farm, but I know he was involved with the Blue Mountain Coffee. And the reason I know that he was a friend of my dad's. But I don't recall there being a time when, because even relatives of mine used to sell coffee, you know, the local farmers used to sell coffee as well. So, and they used to get a good price at that time for their coffee. So it goes back, my argument goes back, Head Boy and Jeffrey, to where are the agencies? Like somebody in the chat mentioned the AMC, Paulette Phillip. Remember the Agricultural Marketing Corporation?
Mm-hmm.
That was crucial to the local farmer. So when you remove these agencies that have boots on the ground, then you're taking away the voice of the local farmer. You're you're really removing the land from underneath them. So what do they have? If everybody has to come from Kingston to address the issues of farming, all of it won't work. So they really don't know what is happening. No wonder tomatoes can rot in the field. No wonder pineapple is rotting because there's no storage. All of these things are happening because the politicians are out of touch. And then when you have someone who comes and says, this needs to be put in place to help to alleviate this problem, you get questions. Instead of, you know, people are asking questions, how can it be done? It can't be done. And we spend the most money. You spend the most money, but you're getting the least results. Then shouldn't you change course then to see what else can work? Are they having conversation with farmers on the ground to find out what the problem really is? They lack markets. Who are they talking to say, where can we, okay, yeah, the US market is closed. Where else can we sell our produce? How can we get into manufacturing again, put up production plants, get somebody to invest, because no one stands alone. So you're going to need investors. Where can the investors come from to invest in manufacturing, so that some of these things, you can have a potato chips factory there, we can go back to having the banana chips and all those things, because guess what, when you have manufacturing, you're building your economy from within.
Yes.
You cannot use import of produce to build your economy. And your agricultural import bill being higher than your export bill presents a problem. And then when you're going to talk about bringing in the Singapore model, it's the reverse of that. So people, you have to go back to talking to the people who are on the ground and remove the offices out of Kings. It has to come out. The Ministry of Agriculture has to be decentralized once again, so that the farmers can be seen and heard. Utilize the RADA offices. There are many RADA offices across the island. Utilize the RADA offices. Utilize the extension officers. Utilize the AMC. Go back to those things. It worked. Bring it into 2025. Bring farm. I know it's 2025, so the agriculture, you know, more technology is brought to bear in agriculture. Introduce the farmers to it, but stop selling the lands to a few people, because when you sell it to one person and that one person has 1,500 acres of land, you cut out 1,500 people.
My God.
So that's what we need to go back to.
Jenny people, it is now 9:31. We have been at it from about 7 o'clock this evening. But I'm going to go over this Jamaica's high. As a matter of fact, Marie, you do the honors and go over the Jamaica's high import bill. You want to go over it for us, please?
Yeah, okay. So the food import bill is US $1.6 billion in 2024, a 16% jump over the previous year, 2023. Now, the food preparation items account for US $89.5 billion of that in 2024. And what the food, processed foods, semi-processed food mixtures, seasoning blends, baking premixes, soup base used in commercial and household meal prep make up the 89.5 billion of that. Now, when we talk about food processing, Jamaica has a problem with diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease. Other major food imports during 2024, animal feed, $88.6 million. Rice, 74.5 million. And this is US dollars now, people. Fresh and unprocessed fish, 69.4 million. Sugar, 67.9 million. Wheat, 56.5 million. Cooking oil, 56.5 million. Potatoes, seed and table, 46.9 million. No, go up, Jeffrey. Go. Yeah. Hold on. Go up, Jeffrey. You bring it down. I'm not seeing it. Bring it. Yeah, right there. Yes, I'm good. Yeah. Potatoes, seed and table, 46.9 million. Beef, corned and fresh. That makes some sense. Beef, corned and fresh, $40.4 million. Molasses, 22.1 million. Bananas and plantain chips, 17 million US dollars. How can our farmers survive with this? They can't. They simply can't. And so there has to be a new direction. There has to be some fresh ideas. There has to be new policy directives that can help farmers in a real and tangible way. They cannot keep paying lip service to this, and you cannot keep saying we spend the most money on agriculture. It is not being felt on the ground. It is not. And this information is coming from the Statistical Institute. So I don't know, but this is unacceptable. And in the debates, I hope that there's a debate between the Minister of Agriculture and the spokesperson for Agriculture, Dr. Dayton Campbell. That's Floyd Green and Dr. Dayton Campbell.
Yes.
On agriculture, because it is unacceptable that a country like Jamaica has such a problem with their agricultural produce finding markets. It's not only one country in the world. There are many, and they can trade with other countries. And so we need a serious turnaround in agriculture to really benefit farmers. And there are many ways to do it. There's not just one way. And they should tap into those ways and get back to having the boots on the ground.
Indeed.
Having the boots on the ground, being the local communities.
Ladies and gentlemen, people, as we come off air tonight, what stood out to me, two things stood out to me. Well, three things stood out to me in this, four things in this import bill that we have here. Rice, 70.5 million US dollars. Sugar, 67.9 million. Wheat, 56.5 million US. Cooking oil, 56.5 million US. Potato, people. St. Elizabeth people, potato. Barbara Green, allow potato. Minister Barbara Green. As we come off here now, Minister Barbara Green allow potato to come into the country. The potato bill for Jamaica is 46.9 million US dollars.
Yes.
While the farmers of St. Elizabeth potato stay in the field and rotten. And you asking the people of St. Elizabeth to give you another chance to do what? To put the potato bill at $1.8 trillion? When you know I'll finish with this? Huh?
Yeah.
Is this the country that we want to live in? The talk about live and work and raise family?
And when you speak out, Jeffrey, they say you're bad mind. I mean, how does that figure? No politician, member of parliament, minister of government should be looking at people who speak out, because it was Andrew Holness who said that you must hold government accountable. And know that he's being held accountable. He wants to be held, not to be held to the same standard that he was holding the previous administration to when he was in opposition. It's called accountability. And it should be okay for people to stand up and question some of the policies being put forward by the government. It should be okay. It shouldn't be that you're bad mind. What do you mean bad mind? What kind of dibby argument is that? Bad mind what? You can't bad mind taxpayers. So you're telling me taxpayers bad mind taxpayers over taxpayers' money? It's taxpayers' money. It's not your own. And
Potato,
they're defending it.
acting as potato, Marie, banana and plantain chips to import it into Jamaica is $17 million.
But guess what? You go to a local green grocery store in Canada, UK, US, and you buy banana chips. It's not a product of Jamaica. It's a product of Jamaica, but it wasn't really making it. It was packaged somewhere else. So the job is someplace else. So the farmers there don't benefit. Even when you look at the products from Grace Canadian Company, they're not packaged in Jamaica. A lot of stuff are not packaged there.
I know, because even tin mackerel is a product of Indonesia.
Don't be rude. Don't call her tin mackerel. She's Lady Mackerel. Don't be rude. Put some respect on her name.
As we close the program tonight, my Jamaican people, those in the chat room, the Jamaican people can't even buy turkey neck, get to oxtail. Huh? The people of St. Elizabeth, the farmers of St. Elizabeth, have their watermelon, their potato rotting in the field. Potato, Jamaica's import potato bill, not export, import. Stand at $46.9 million US dollars. That is what Floyd Green allowed to come into this country. While where he born and grew in St. Elizabeth, he professed he loved the people of St. Elizabeth. And where he born and grew, Mas Tam, Mas Zikel, Uncle Bayo, and all of them who have farms in St. Elizabeth, their potato stay in the field and rotten, while the Jamaica's world-class Minister of Agriculture and Jamaica's from Negril Point to Moran Point, Minister of Barbara Green, because everywhere going to St. Elizabeth now, Marie, is Barbara Green, so they call him Barbara Green.
Really?
That's why I get the name Barbara Green. Became Barbara Green everywhere. Don't give her a track in Barbara Green.
So was it a proper road work where you do milling and paving, or you just put some tar over something so that when the rain comes, it wash away?
The main road one Barbara Green, but every crevice and corner with Barbara Green except the main road.
They're not serious. They're not serious about moving the country forward, Jeffrey. That's a problem. And as we close this nomination evening program.
Yes.
My charge to voters: go and get your IDs, double check to make sure your names are on the voters list. But here's the thing: stop voting for personalities and vote for policies. The PNP has put out a manifesto. The JLP has put out a book of achievements. You have to look at where you are in your life right now. The JLP had a manifesto from 2016 and 2020. And I say, use those two manifestos to judge where they are. Use it as a barometer to measure their success and failure. Look at your circumstances and use it to say whether or not the Jamaica Labour Party did enough to even move the needle an inch in your life. If they haven't, you look at the PNP's manifesto. The PNP also has a history of putting forth policies that have benefited the country. We look at NHD, you look at RADA, you look at the PATH, you look at National Health Fund. Those were agencies put in place by the People's National Party. You cannot take it away from them. However, now they have a manifesto and they have put forward ideas and policies that they, given the opportunity to be government, will implement to better your lives over a 5-year period. Look at where your lives are right now. Hospitals, there's a $22 billion for Cornwall Regional that is yet to be completed. There is the broken education system. The teachers were offered 7% increase over 7 years, 0% in year one, but parliamentarians got over 200% increase. And remember, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, when he was opposition leader, he stood with a sign which said, parliamentarians, I'm trying to get the exact words he said, but I'm going to paraphrase,
yes,
must be paid minimum wage. Pay parliamentarians minimum wage, or parliamentarians must be paid minimum wage. Did he pay parliamentarians minimum wage when he became prime minister? Absolutely not, because you cannot call 200% minimum wage. And then you can scarcely find money to pay the teachers a decent livable wage. And you must understand that the principals and senior teachers, many senior teachers, don't get the same wage package as ordinary teachers in the classrooms. So there are different tiers to this. So when teachers are saying, many teachers are coming out and saying this 7% staggered over 7 years and they're not accepting it, you have to understand that it is not a livable wage. Because when so many things are taken out of their salary, but their take-home pay is nothing. The same thing goes for police. Ron James was put on interdiction for speaking up on behalf of the rank and file. Okay, the same thing goes for firemen. So same thing goes for doctors. When you look in the hospitals, people are sleeping on, buying a piece of cardboard to sleep on the floor in a hospital. Where are the MRI machines? Where are the CT scans? Where are the dialysis machines? All of these things you have to take into consideration. Become an informed, edified, educated voter, not a legacy voter. That is not cutting it, because the legacy might cost you your future. It might cost you your freedom. It might cost you your right, because remember now that they put out a constitutional reform report last year. There's nothing in there about your rights and how your rights can be protected, but everything is about the structure of a government and how that structure will be protected against the people who they want to vote them into office. Consider your rights. Think about how many of your young people have lost their lives through extrajudicial killings because you have a government which says, meet your judge or meet your maker, when there's nothing put in place to address poverty and poor quality of education that feeds and fuels crime. When you have a Minister of National Security that says kill first and ask questions later. When you have a Minister of National Security and their JCF who do not want their officers to wear body cams. When you have a government that imposes state of emergencies and lock up your innocent children for going to work. Okay, consider all those things and make the decision to vote for something better to improve your life. You cannot be coming 9 years and giving me 10 years, you're going to promise we are going to do this in November, we're going to do this in 2 years. No. What have you done in those 9 years? Put it forward and don't tell people that to believe what I say and not your lived experiences, because what you're doing is insulting the very people who are telling you that their lives have not been better, have not been improved. And that's that I can come off my soapbox now, but I'm charging the Jamaicans, if you take their money, still vote them out, because do not sell your vote. When you sell your vote for 5,000, and like what's his name, J.C. Hutchinson or whatever said, $5,000 on a box full. That is the worth you have? Is that what you're worth? $5,000 on a box food, $20 wrap up in a t-shirt, $20 in a hat, $70,000 in a. When that is finished, then what? Do you have a home? Can you send your children to school? Do you have a hospital that you can go to? What about the state of your roads? All of those things you have to take into consideration. Because when they go off, and do not fight your neighbor for any politician, because you cannot take that into their neighborhoods. Because when they ask you to destroy, when they come in and destroy your communities, they leave those communities which are yet to be fixed from 1980. They leave and they go back to the comfort of their homes and their gated communities where you cannot go with your nonsense. So please, let the politics be free from fear. Let it be above board. Vote your conscience. Be edified, be educated, and don't be afraid to stand up to politicians, because you are their boss, not the other way around. And it is high time Jamaicans move away from the give me a thing, the boss. No.
Yes.
You are the boss.
A remarkable evening. Big evening this evening. And as we come off air, I was hoping that somebody said they're going to call before we go off air, but the person has not called. So I am going to come off air now, because we have been at it from about 7 o'clock this evening. And as we come off air, just want to let you know that Jamaica's import bill start at $1.6 billion. And potato, Floyd Green, to import potato into Jamaica, the bill stands at US $46.9 million. Banana and plantain chips to import into Jamaica, the bill stands at US 17 million. Cooking oil, 56.9 million US. Wheat, 56.5 million US. Sugar, 67.9 million US. Rice, we skip over fish. Rice at $70.5 million. Animal feed at 88.6 million. And Floyd Green is asking for another term in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, as we come off, I want to say thank you all for coming on. Thank you all for being a part of this program. Remember, on election day, on September 3rd, go out and vote for the soul of this democracy. Go out and vote as if your life depends on it. Because as I said before, lies in your palm of hands, in your two hands, is this beautiful daughter of the Caribbean, Jamaica. Vote for a better Jamaica. Vote for the betterment of this country. Vote for the future of your children. Then when we're all gone,
yes,
they can say, yes, my mother, my father, a big mouth man named Jeffrey Tavares used to speak out. Just like how we can remember the late Wilmot Mutty Perkins, the late Barbara Blunden, the late Winston Babatunda Witter, the late Antoinette Harton, the late John Maxwell, the late Ambassador Andrew, not Andrew Young, oh my God, he and Beverly used to come on the program there. He and Beverly Man used to come on.
Anthony Abrahams.
Those are the people who gone on before. They made the way for all of us. They didn't know that there was going to be an internet internet era where we can come on internet and chat up the things. But they started out for us. That we can come now and say, listen, they have started it. Let's carry on the baton and speak out for the poor people of this country. Today was nomination day in Jamaica. We hear nothing about any accident or anything like that. And we are so grateful for that. We give God thanks for that. And I'll ask of you, let this election be an election to remember in a positive way. No violence at all. And whosoever win, let us accept the result and move on. And pray that this nation of ours can turn around for the better. Pray for this. That Jamaica land we love.
And remember the words of Michael Manley: integrity, integrity, integrity.
Indeed.
Have a good night, folks. Blessed Jeffrey, have a wonderful night. Thanks for having me on, and to everybody in the chat, a blessed night.
Thank you so much, Marie, and I hope you don't be a stranger again. I'm just kidding.
No. Blessings,
Yes.
blessings every time. Yeah, man.
Thank you
cool.
so much, Marie. All the best. Have a good night.
Yeah, man. You too. Cool, cool.
Good night. Good night, everybody. Just to say to you all tonight as we come off air, thank you all very much. You have been a great, great program. For those who send in the $20 and the $10 to this program, thank you. I appreciate it. I thank you. I've gotten about 2 persons or 3 persons send me $20. One send me $50. One send me $10. One send me $5. Thank you all very much for sending through Zelle. You can also hit up the super chat if you want. You know, thank you all very, very much. This has been a remarkable day from this morning, first coverage of the nomination day. Hi, Reggae Girl, how are you? I just come on air and you're leaving. All right, let me see if anybody gonna call in. If anybody gonna call in, I'll stay on. The Reggae Girls, then call into the program, the Reggae Girl. Call into the program, man, and tell us what you think about nomination day today and what you think who's gonna win the election. Call us and talk to us about that then. Since you don't want me to leave. This has been a remarkable day though. And a remarkable night. As many of us who may come on here and speak about what is going on in Jamaica, we must remember that the Caribbean, other Caribbean islands, people are crying out for justice. People are crying out for what is going on in their own country. In Dominica, I'm gonna have you remember the breaking news I bring from Dominica sometime in February? They're still having issues with that. Miss P. Hi, Miss P. Good night to you.
Good night, good night. Can me tell us my bet?
With what?
If you not go, if you not come off, I not give me a time.
No, man.
No, let me there. All right, good night, and big up. I tell you, say, I left work and go to Brownstone.
Yes.
Jeffrey, your girl gone right home.
Thank
I
God.
tell you, it's a jubilee.
Yes.
Straight to me gate, I couldn't go no further with them. I never know so much PMP people when me see come out. You know what I mean? A little people who can't vote, but I talk about no pick me, I talk about real voter. Some people when me see, you see them people like, you know, them people from Upper Lanche,
Yeah, man.
them hierarchy people.
The people of the vote and the vote for me.
Yes, I mean, so to myself, say, hey, man, there too. Yeah, woman, there too. Me I talk people in a high society who ask her to them do it. You understand? And me I say, thank God. And he come a Bamboo Square. Jeffrey.
Who come a Bamboo Square?
No vehicle. Gabriella.
Bangarang.
No vehicle right now square. No vehicle can go Clement, none can go center, none can come back a Browntown. Jam park. When me tell you, say, bumper to bumper like Kingston style, real town style. And Jeffrey, me not have to tell no lie. No Honda yet speaking no D-Day. Me a talk people of society, business people, civil servant, people of highly respected people who I say now do them like a certain age and so. They're not. Me say I'm frightened, Jeffrey, I'm frightened until a week. Jeffrey, me have to come out of taxi and walk, and me a fast, and me a look when me see them the type of people. Me I say, no man, this is it. Me mean teacher, nurse, off duty,
Hold on,
people with
hold on, Miss P. Let me Reggae Girl, I'm gonna address something here, Miss P. Make a come back. Reggae Girl. I have always said this. Crowd do not win election. Crowd do not win election. What win election is those who you can bring out on election day. How many people turn out to vote on election day? And that is why I encourage Jamaicans from all walks of life. Go out and vote as if your life depends on it. Do not spoil the ballot. Go out and vote. Make sure you put the X beside the head or the bell or wherever you want to put the X, but put it at the right place. Go out and vote as if your life depends on it. Do not listen to people by saying the crowd will follow this person will win. No. It's who you can bring out on election day. Can you bring out that same crowd that follow you to the nomination booth on election day? Can you do that? If you can do that, then on election night we can say yes, a Jeffrey Tavares gone home sweet for Western Westmoreland, or a Miss P gone home sweet for Northeast Santana or wherever. It is not the crowd that you must follow. You must follow on election day. If the same person that got nominated, can that crowd come back on election day and give it to them and make sure they go home with the seat? Can that happen? Based on what I am hearing out of Gabriella's seat, Gabriella's gonna go home with that seat. Based on the canvas, the canvas and the polling within the seat, I am being told that she's gonna go home with that seat. It's same with Danishka Williams. Danishka and Gabi will come home with that seat election night. People, based on what they're seeing, not the crowd, but the real polling within the constituency. Now, I do not know about any part else, any other constituency. And I'm going to say it again. Crowd do not win election. What wins election? If the same crowd that comes out on nomination day, that same crowd have the enthusiasm, the push to come out on election day and vote. That's what wins election. Miss P, go ahead.
Yes, Jeffrey, you are correct. But Jeffrey,
yes,
the crowd when we see today
with Gabi,
it's not about the crowd.
Yes.
It's the who make up the crowd.
Okay.
That draw me home. I mean eyeglass Jeffrey.
Yes.
Me mean people. If those people can left their house, some of them people left their yard and who did them go over them personal business. And that me I tell you. And if today's a good nomination and them can come out like that, election day they go turn right over. I see a lady say she just come from work and we don't know water much. And the woman go grab 2 buckets of water and go do what you know what and shout me and say, start a vehicle, pay their own money. Me not talk say the candidate are fine lunch and this and money. Me mean people are going to them pocket, charter their own vehicle, buy their own sitting and gone about their business. And that pal me. Me no mean a little people and we are gonna depend on politicians big up. Me mean people pool their money together. Yes. You have a vehicle, we give you 1,000, 2,000, we full up your gas, we buy them food and then gone. And that appalls me, no?
Because I get to understand, Miss P, some high-end vehicle that was behind Gabi.
Jeffrey, as I sit down on the house,
Range Rover.
I can't tell you what I see with my own eyes, Jeffrey, is not the crowd is yes, but the people who make up the crowd. Jeffrey, me not talk no hide the boy we sit down on corner and the go and me go. Few of them did they yes.
Yes.
But me I tell you, Jeffrey, the Boomba V and the Boomba Va of Northwest St. Hand, that me I talk about. And those Boomba V and Boomba Va have their own crowd behind them. Me mean businessman, me mean civil servant with highly respected people. Me not talking little brr 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 barom and boom. Me mean conscious, respectable Jamaican. Even in the diaspora, people fly down from foreign, come down and nomination.
Yes.
And come to support Gabriel, and I tell you, Jeffrey. Me happy so till we go and discover me. Can I have to tell me I'm gonna go watch Jeffrey. Me no better go no further. Me couldn't go no further.
I want.
I mean, no missing.
I want to play a video here with Senator Gabriela Morris speaking in St. Anne at the parish meeting. And when you listen to this young lady, who does she remind you of? Listen to her.
St. Anne, and you can trust that when you send me to Parliament, you're not have a bench warmer or a table knocker, but you have a champion who is ready to serve you. And so I do not have to ask, but I know no one me ask anyway. Northwest St. Anne, are you ready? See the signal waving in the sky. Reinforcements now appearing. Victory, victory, victory.
Victory indeed. Miss P.
Portia Simpson.
Okay.
Portia Lucretia Simpson.
Okay.
Miller. I let me tell you, as Gabriel Gano, but took my beat me. Cliff Hughes. I'm definitely I beg you a little time.
Go ahead.
Clifton or Clifford Hughes. May I give you the most honorable right or whatever you want. May I give you accolade. You was and supposed to still be a credible media personnel. We grow up listening to you as young people. Impact. Yes. And some more things where you would do. Yes. We learn from you, sir. And I salute you. But since of lately, Cliff Hughes, a man of your caliber, you are endorsing some things that nobody in Jamaica would have expected from you, sir. You know that Mark Jefferson Golden was born in Jamaica from Patricia Levy Golden, who hails from somewhere in Westmoreland, his parents and his grandfather by the mother's side. Right, you know that Sir John Golden came here from England and met his family and do what he does. Mark Jefferson Golden get a citizenship in UK by descent. And the other day when you make a bigger blue but no moral, you can hold this and you behave as if the gentleman did went up to the upper high commission, go listen, go look for a visa up there. Him get it, a ban him ban and get it. Can you tell a person where you want to ban or who you want to ban from? No. The other day you dip on your station and say, Mark Golden now cutty him for being self. How him for being self? Mark Golden is a man who talk standard English. Now he's in the field of talking to every single Jack Mandora. So he has to adapt the principle of putting in some patois in it so that the ordinary Jamaican can understand. If you left your go to a foreign country where they speak Spanish, you're not going to try to learn Spanish. To understand people. Uno lick Mark Golden go, uno lick Mark Golden come. Uno go to as far as say, Mark Golding for charge for pedophile because him breeding wife at the age of 90, like so. And when you take a step, Mark Golding wife older than him. Uno lick the man, gonna lick the man come. Be nothing at all. Do you remember when bomb was dropping in Ukraine? We come from a Caribbean country where we not used to bomb, we used to buckle torch. And imagine your daughter, your grandchild or children, your niece, your nephews was in Ukraine and bomb what they've never seen in their life, only on a movie. And when they call to the Jamaican authority to help them to reach home, them said them have to borrow a loan. What did Mark Jefferson Golden do? He didn't know them personally. He went to this pocket and took them home and do what he has to do to make them come home. Or don't give the gentleman a credit for that. Your prime minister, our prime minister tell the children they have to borrow a loan when they are students. When they get money to borrow a loan. When they get things. And Mark Golden said, no. And he went into his pocket and he let them come home. Give the man a credit. Give the gentleman a credit. Mark Golden have never done nothing to this country. Why you not hate him so? Because of the greed and likes. And look at you now. Look at you now. You have been getting notice eviction. When the Prime Minister went over Clifton and lit down the people in house, all the land does not belong to him. Nary a mama, nary a papa. It was a crown land. What is the meaning of crown, sir? The government land. Who are we? The government. I know I'm not a liar, but I believe if people live on crown land and you want it for development, the government have a right to give you a notice and even a right to evacuate, put you somewhere.
Yes.
Not to come free you off of it. What did Nationwide do? What did you do when you look and see that young girl was crying, saying she only have $300 to go to work because she have to save the liquor out of nothing to pay a man a 1 day, 2 day, 3 day to carry her house. 23-year-old trying to put a shelter over her head. And you, the Prime Minister, have done that. What did you say, Cliff Hughes? Cliff Hughes, what did you say? Cliff Hughes, when the police say it's targeted operation and going and kill man at the house 3 o'clock in front of their mama, their husband, their baby mother. What did you say? Did the Constitution say every man is innocent until proven guilty?
Yeah.
I did not. I know if a person have the guts to rise a machine against a police officer with a knife, stick, gun, put him down, that is fair. But you go, you wake up a man at the house, take him out. You should have taken him, making case report, and whatever in charge, making charge. But you shoot him in front of his mother. If you look, you're supposed to have grand pitney if a police will shoot your child in front of you or in the next room where you're there. In just that you say, grandfather, good night, a morning. And when you wake up, you see police and him a ball, grandpa, they never kill me, papa. And then you hear boom, boom. Cliff Hughes, have you no heart? Have you no heart, Cliff Hughes? Then when the PMP said they don't want to ask them nothing, we have fight for a bet for. We don't want to ask PMP nothing because when it's not fair. It doesn't matter if you're Labour or you're PMP. Nothing is wrong with that. But you must be fair. You have a Dr. Dayton camera if somebody can box him in the mouth. You go as far as to say, them shoot up your station. Cliff Hughes, do you remember say, PJ did sue you? And you get another lawsuit to show who shoot up your station? Granny Subaru? Cliff Hughes, people are listening. People are learning. We have all we no matter how poor we have big phone, we have Google, everybody friend. We know. Cliff Hughes, you have condemned yourself. Nobody asks you to do it. All you got to do is to be transparent, honest, and true. to Jamaica land and its people. You did not do that. You get 10 right off to tell we out. And you not get no more. So all the way you owe you what appear. You sell out with. And you sell, and you don't want to sell out with grandpitney and with great grand. But in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, our soon coming King, you will never win. Because I tell you no, the higher the monkey climb and the more him exposed. Honorable Prime Minister disrespect the student when he asks about needs. You know what I disrespect? You know what I want to say? You have the right before you say to me, say, young man, no, this is how it go, and we are going to, and I accept what you said, so we're gonna look. No, you disrespect them. Oh, no, you are walk about vote, but trying to walk up in me. Right? So what you sow, that shall you reap.
Indeed.
What you sow, that what you shall reap. Nationwide, go pay your tax. And go look place you go. Look how long you are run media. You get every contract from this government. Why you never piece a place and make up one little studio for yourself? You saw no expose. If you was come off and Mark Jefferson Golden, he will be the next prime minister of this country. So all you don't plan to buy some pampas, right? And you can't stop it. Because who God bless, no man curse. Mark Jefferson Golden is gonna show we him true color when we put him in parliament. And we are gonna see what I mean. It's not gonna be easy. We all know that. Because in my opinion, I believe him get a broke country. But he knows how to flip numbers. He knows how to go to authority and speak with passion, dignity, integrity. And we know once we rally around him, bear with him, near source of food here we are. And we still have near source of food now. So we are going to near me for another year or two. We better if we come. And we are going to get NHT and go back to its rightful place. And education and the farmers, be prepared. And Jeffrey, like I tell you, and the other blackers I want to call me, not calling no blackers because I can't chat so good. But let me tell you now, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate what you guys have done. I may not have the money in cash, but my prayer is with you, sir. The other day when you say you wasn't feeling well, I go down on my knee and I ask the good Lord to have mercy upon you. I wait in the morning, I turn my eyes to the sun, and I open my eye, and I put you by the podium in front of God. And say, God, I am sorry. Do what you have to do. Right? And I tell Mystic, Lonesome, Andre, in Wallahunu, we the Jamaican people, we salute you, sir. We thank you. We appreciate you. We thank you because you are rescuing a nation. You are rescuing generation to come. Right? And God bless you. And beside every good man, there's a good woman.
Indeed.
Mrs. Tavares. Anyway, you're the man. Thank you for giving us your husband. Night upon night, day upon day. All when in their work, it's still a squeezing couple of minutes, make we know what we want. Thank you. God bless you. And may your store basket and may your health be good. And you live a long and healthy life. And when Mark Goldie start to fix the place and we come, you may can come to Jamaica and now if you look over your shoulder and come back on yam, some ton caramel and dirty girl and roast breadfruit and drink some soup and go along with yourself. And go along with yourself and walk and take picture. God bless yourself.
God bless
and
you.
I yield back.
Thank you so much, Mr. Yeah. for calling in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sir.
Thank you. It is now 17 after 9 o'clock. We have some more calls coming in. I'm going to take the calls and then we're going to wrap up. This person was calling from South Carolina, I think. Hello?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the program.
Yeah. What I really thought to ask you, I don't know if you saw the interview today well, after the Prime Minister got nominated when they asked him about the latest Danandis poll.
Yes, I saw it.
What a man, conical, wicked, and deceivious man. Jesus have
You see,
mercy.
I think the Prime Minister conveniently don't remember things, you know. You remember? You remember when he was in opposition, he used to listen to Don Anderson polls?
Oh my God. That's what I'm talking about. 2016, the polls were leaning towards him. He was happy. 2020, it shows that they had a clear path despite he was warned about COVID. And now that the poll is saying something different, this man conveniently find it in himself to say he has never believed in the poll. He was never a fan of the poll. And he had done his own poll. And it's what a man deceive us, man.
That's a lie. That's a lie, my brother.
Oh my
Thank
God.
You. Gotta run, my
Mr.
friend.
Jeffrey. Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Good night.
Yes, sir.
Let me make one more call and then we call it a night. It is now 18 minutes after 10 o'clock, 18 after 9 o'clock in the land of wood and water. We have been having extended coverage of nomination day, and Jamaica's import bill stood at $1.6 billion. And we're importing potato into this country under the Floyd Green Ministry of Agriculture. While the people of St. Elizabeth, where he's from, they can't even sell their potato. Let me call back this number here and get back this person here to come and speak to us right here on the Make We Talk program. Hello, good night.
Good night.
Good night, my friend. You're calling us. Go ahead.
Yes. Cliff Hughes doesn't mind piling up companies' debt, because personally he's getting richer.
But
the practice he has adopted.
If he was getting richer, why is he owing people for why is he owing his landlord? Something's not right.
He's not going to invest fresh money in his company, Jeffrey, because his company is a loss maker. So he's just in survival mode until he closes down. But personally, his personal wealth is secured because he would have cleared his mortgage from his luxurious mansion in Stone Hill. So he has benefited significantly out of politics. And remember that the statutory deductions that he withdrew from his employees, he took it and used it. He didn't pass it over to tax administration of Jamaica. So those people will not even get any NHT benefits.
But have mercy, God.
And that to me is tax fraud. And some of the write-offs that Cliff Hughes got stroke NNN, the incoming government must investigate them to find out whether or not those transactions were done legitimately. But personally, Cliff Hughes has been the hiring manager for the Jamaica Labour Party government. You would have seen where he put in Dennis Brooks, went up to senior superintendent of police without any previous policing experience. And remember, when Andrew Wellness was over there dismantling the people's houses in Clifton, remember that Dennis Brooks was on scene as a policeman endorsing it and say it's run by criminals and all of that. You remember? It was Dennis Brooks that was there with the Prime Minister,
Yes.
So the PNP government must also plan to arrest and charge Dennis Brooks because he was a part of that clan who would have caused malicious destruction of property.
And you can hold your breath on that.
Which is a very serious charge.
You can hold your breath on that because that will never happen, my friend. You have 2 more minutes. Right? I gotta run.
Cliff Hughes would have put in Elon Parkinson at the Ministry of Transport, Telecommunication, Technology. and science, right? Daryl Vaz. He's there now as the communication manager. I remember he was made redundant by Digicel, right? Cecil Toms, also of Nationwide News Network, became communications manager at Jamaica Urban Transit Company, and Naomi Francis, the head of the press head of communication in the Prime Minister's office, and they are all over. There are more people, right? But I'm saying that Cliff Hughes has enjoyed significant benefits under the Jamaica Labour Party and started from Bruce Golding and Daryl Vaz and now Andrew Holness. So anybody who is convinced that Cliff Hughes is broke personally, you better think again. That guy would have secured his personal wealth while piling up debts on the company's side. He doesn't care about the company. It's a limited liability company. He can walk away. He can walk away from that easily, Jeffrey.
Hold on. Are you sure that he put away his wealth according to you? Are you sure about that?
Then a man who wields significant power in government, you think he would have left himself naked?
You would know. Anyway, my friend.
He doesn't mind piling up the debts at NNN, Jeffrey. He's a limited liability company. He's going to walk away from that. You don't understand the pattern of these businessmen. They like to walk away from debts free as a bird in the tree. Remember that Put Stewart did it with Air Jamaica, right? And don't forget, that Cliff Hughes is close to the SSLs, the First Rock Investments, and all those other people who do not pay money. They don't pay their debts. So all that will happen, they will just make Jamaica poorer, while they would have secured their personal fortunes.
Yes.
But I wouldn't entertain the argument that Cliff Hughes is broke. Cliff Hughes is piling up debts at his company while enriching himself personally on a large scale.
All right, sir. Thanks very much for calling, my friend. Gotta run. Thank you. We have one more call. We're not going to take any more calls. Just one more call, then we gotta run. I did say to someone I'm going to call them back. The person who's calling us from a 916 number, you can call back now. If someone calls from a 916 number, you can call back now. Because we're going to wrap up. Let me see if I can get back the person. This person out of California. Hello, good night.
Hello, Jeffrey.
Yes.
Yeah, hello, good evening, Jeffrey.
Good night.
Yeah, may I call you come on, but a small fire still,
Go ahead, you have about 2 minutes because I gotta run.
Yeah, more and talk about Deanne Jackson Miller.
What happened to Deanne Jackson?
I don't know if you see the piece that she did on her YouTube channel where she was going over the things that she like and don't like.
From the manifesto?
About the manifesto.
Yes.
And the first thing she covered was the diaspora.
Yes.
And she pretty much rubbish that. She didn't even offer much. She pretty much rubbish that, saying that, people who live abroad or don't live in the country should not have a seat. And it's just flat out rubbish. And her personally gonna campaign against it.
What?
Yeah. So I'm not gonna go in too much. I want you to look it up. It's not a long video. I want you to look it up.
I'm gonna
find it.
I was watching part of it a couple nights, but I think I fell asleep. So I want to go back and look at it again.
Yeah, man. I was incensed. And the thing is that when we finish dragging Andrew, we need to turn upon the legacy media, the state media, them down there, because they are complicit in all of the foolishness where Andrew go on with down there.
Yes. All right, my friend. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
All right.
Good night. Caller, welcome to the program. Your line. Caller.
Yeah, man.
Hello, good night. Turn off the TV.
Let me turn this down quick. Yes. Good night, everybody. Jeffrey?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to tell Deanne Jackson Miller something. Lady, with your twist mouth. Make I tell you something.
Hold on. Miss Jackson Miller have a right to analyze the the manifesto. She has a right to criticize the manifesto if she sees fit to. I don't believe that we should come here and call her any names. That's a Dan Jackson Miller.
Jeffrey,
And say what you have to say.
Hold on, Jeffrey.
Yes.
Hold on, Jeffrey.
Yes.
The truth is the truth. I don't like people who do those things. She's an hypocrite.
Hold on.
Hypocrisy.
Hold on. You can come
I know
here.
you call her name and me call her name, Jeffrey.
Hold on. You can come here and you can criticize her. I don't believe in us to call people names. I don't believe in that.
All right.
Sometimes I do that and I'm wrong to do it too. Go ahead.
Jeffrey, when I hear this, it just turned me around. My head turned upside down. Look here. You see, when Andrew was down there having him time in a COVID and seeing business place them lock up and the people them down there and not have nothing, are the diaspora. See, right now, it's the bloggers trying to help the back to school program. These MPs that are out there on the other side, may I call them on the other side, are they galvanizing themselves to help them people that will jump behind them like bees? No, it's not them. The diaspora. Andrew came up here.
Can I ask you a question?
Dinner. Look how much of the plate of food. No money in my look. Jeffrey, let me say it, man. Let me talk because look here, I'm not in the bias.
No, hold on.
I'm not in the foolishness with them.
Hold on.
We need a seat in parliament.
If we call to have a conversation, we have to have a conversation. What's have a conversation? You alone can't just be speaking. May I have to speak together? May I ask you something?
Go ahead, Jeffrey.
Okay. What do they have to do in the Parliament of Jamaica to make a member of the Jamaican diaspora sit in the Parliament? What do they have to do?
Vote out Andrew.
No, ma'am.
And make Marky G come and things have to change in the Parliament.
My dear, I ask you a question. Whether they vote out Andrew, yes or no, Mr. Golden alone cannot name a person to be in the Senate from the diaspora. And I say go.
Wait there, Jeffrey. I know it's not as I speak. I know negotiation, perhaps amendment in the Constitution, and all of that. It takes a process. I'm aware of that. It's a process. It just don't happen like that. But the first step towards that, get that prime minister that is there right now, get him out. And then when Mark Golden going, we can start the process.
Do you know?
We can start the process.
Do you know how long the two sides have been saying this about putting Jamaicans in the Parliament from the diaspora?
You know what the truth is? So much the diaspora have been doing, and we know that is a diaspora begin to put things forward that people know, and the bloggers, what is going on in Jamaica.
Hold on for me, Miss P. What am I doing? None of you, darling. What am I doing? What am I doing?
You talking to me?
I am speaking to the caller. I am speaking to the caller, and I have a right to speak what I want to say. The Mark Jefferson Golden cannot just come and become prime minister and name a person to go to the Parliament from the diaspora. And that's how it works.
I did say that, Jeffrey. I did mention that.
I'm not talking about you. Hold on, my dear. I know you was one of the chat message.
You're not with somebody else.
Yes,
okay,
hold on.
Sorry. I didn't know.
That's not how it works. That is not how it works. You have to go through a process. Wait for me, darling. You have 2 minutes because I gotta run.
Okay, yes. So, there's so many people want to come home, but not in that condition, because people have illnesses that they have to keep up with their
their doctor and hospital and medication. People come down there, say, okay, they want to retire in their country. They're being killed, murdered, and all, investigation. You don't hear nothing more, whether them catch them or nothing at all. You have never heard the Prime Minister mention the people, the hardworking people in the diaspora, as if we really need something to the country of Jamaica. And we do. We do. We have been doing so much remittance and all of that. You understand? So when Marky G gets in and the negotiation and what has to be changed, it has the constitution, a section of that has to be gone in or put in or some amendment, but I know it's a process. And I'm anticipating that, Jeffrey, that we have a
alone
voice
can't do it,
in
though.
Parliament.
The PNP alone cannot
It's
do
not
it.
hard. Huh?
The PNP alone cannot pass that bill through the Parliament, ma'am.
As I say, negotiation. And when
has to have
the
two-third
jail people
majority.
comes opposition, if they regard the people in the diaspora, we are Jamaicans just the same. We are Jamaicans, we're not different.
It takes 2/3 majority of the Parliament to do it, ma'am. So let's hope and pray it happens.
I'm banking on that. So we John, what's her name again? Bear me up. I don't want to call her out of her name. What's her name? The journalist.
Who, Diane Jackson Miller?
Yes, if she's gonna say we are not to have any say and whatever, oh no, I'll push that back. I'll push that back. We have a say.
A lot of
Else,
people.
only not beg, we're not up here. Only not beg, we nothing. And people hear me loud and clear. If we can't, not make them beg with nothing and not make them use it. Jeffrey, sorry to be saying it like this, but I call a spade a spade. I don't have any time to nice up things when things can be debatable and negotiating and all of that. No, I don't have no time for that. I call a spade a spade. We are important to the country of Jamaica, the land of our birth too. They're not to push us aside and use us, and then everything they come begging and begging and begging and begging. We work hard for our money up here too. You understand? And we have been contributing down there a lot more than some of them parliament here and there on the other side. You understand? We deserve that. We deserve.
Let me say something to you. Let me talk to some people in the chat room too. This thing about Jamaicans in the diaspora has been floating around from in the 1980s. You hear what I'm saying? From in the 1980s.
I'm listening.
This thing about Jamaicans voting or sitting in the parliament has been circulating around, floating around from the 1980s, the 1990s, in the 2000s. The two political parties promised the diaspora, yes, they're gonna make it happen. They said it under Portia Simpson Miller. First, they said it under PJ Patterson. They say it under Portia Simpson Miller. They say it under Bruce Golding. They say it when Dr. Peter Phillips was in opposition with them. They say it too. It has been floating around for many years. All right? And nothing has been done. I am not saying, hold on, please. I am not saying that the opposition People's National Party, if they get into power, they will not do it. What I am saying is this. It's going to take a little while before they can push certain things to get it done. All right? They have to go and amend the Constitution. A certain part of the Constitution have to be amended, and I can't just jump on amend the Constitution just like that. It takes time. And Dan Jackson Miller is not the only person who has been floating around to say that no. Members within the Jamaican diaspora have been saying the same thing too. Some people in the Jamaican diaspora do not believe that we should sit in the Parliament of Jamaica. Okay? But my firm belief is this, that somebody, whether it be the Senate, or we amend the entire Constitution wherein it give a Jamaican to run as a member of Parliament to sit in the parliament. I do believe that somebody from the Jamaican diaspora must sit in the parliament. That is my firm belief. It's not only Dan Jacksonville alone believe that that should not happen. You have people within the diaspora who believe that too. And this has been going on from the 1980s, and we get promises and promises and promises. My thing is this: until I see it happen, I will not say anything more.
All right, Jeffrey, I listen to you. The diaspora.
You gotta run now because I have to go.
Wait, Jeffrey, give me the little time. I just close it off because I waited on you. I know it's your program, but I don't like how you're pushing me off. I don't like that. I'm not keeping up your time, but just let me finish, please, because I did listen to you and I understand what you're saying. I respect what you're saying. Okay, Jeffrey? Okay, so let me quickly say this. Jeffrey, the diaspora is one of the largest contributors to Jamaica in every way and form. And I don't care, apart from Diane Jackson Miller, anybody in the diaspora in Jamaica might be saying, every process starts with a first step. And that first step, the door is still open, no matter how long and how many prime ministers. The door is still open for negotiation. And I believe it is the time now. And it must come back up. And I am not listening to the naysayers about this. It must happen. Just like how they keep pushing back with the Maroons. Excuse me, we all are Jamaicans. We all are Jamaicans. So we need to have a representative in the House of Parliament. If not, people, listen to me as I close, Jeffrey. Don't let them use us. Now make them beg we not no more. The Prime Minister said down, let's say, he makes sure say, they are not going to be responsible for certain type of illnesses down there. You are on your own word speaking. So therefore, Jamaica have a burn unit and all of that. And at the same diaspora, try and help people down there who have become victim of burns and all of that to come abroad to get assistance, to get help. So let me tell you something. When nobody with it, else we are going to lock off member. Sorry, Jeffrey, I have to say it this way. It's not intended for you. I'm just expressing myself because I'm not in the foolishness at all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in. Gotta run.
Yeah.
Thanks much. Let me make something clear on this program here. I am not against we being in the diaspora, we being in the Parliament of Jamaica. I am not against it. I'm not against it. What I'm saying is this. This has been floating around for many years. Many Jamaicans who live in the diaspora have the firm belief that yes, some of us should sit in there, while some Jamaicans in the diaspora believe that no, we should not sit in it. All right? So when Dan Jackson Miller came out and said it, a lot of people have been saying the same thing. That's her firm belief. You know, let me see if this is going to happen. Because we have been promised this from way back when. Let me see if this is going to happen. It's same way until I can see that if the PNP get into power, when I see they investigate and lock up somebody and they go to prison, then I will believe everything they say. I am not disrespecting the PNP. I am just saying that if Mark Golding get into power, we must understand that Mr. Golding cannot dictate to the police to go investigate Tom Jones over this and lock him up. It can't work, and I say work. That's not how it works. That's all I'm saying. And when I speak up, when I talk Things that people vex with me, I say me a dirty labor right, and me a this and me a that. But that's how the thing works. Hello, good night. Welcome back to our program. You're live. You're the last caller for the night. Go ahead.
Good night, my brother, and thank you for taking my calls. Yeah,
Yes, man.
Jeffrey, honestly, I want to support that lady there. Look, I'm going to tell you something, man. Just love me, my talk. I'm see what you do, you know, brother.
What me I do?
I like where you go out, man. The lady, I lay her opinion. And, you know, you don't have nothing to do with that. You have a program, the woman attack her mind, make you talk.
What am I doing?
See? You see, Diane Jackson Miller, Bridget. She claims say she's supposed she in the middle like to not lean for one side. But me I tell you say everything with PMP do. Diane beat them youth. That's something when me notice a long time. Me even me comment on her thing them youth. She's not a fair person, she's a labor writer, that's okay. Me call it out, that's okay. See?
Let me ask you a
question.
Let me ask you
No.
Let me ask you a question.
But
If
Jeffrey,
you see me on my program here, if I hit out against certain things, I'm a dirty labor, I'm a dirty comrade. Why do we believe that?
listen, man, we are intelligent people, man. You can't know when people are leaning left or right, man. Cool, man.
Oh.
That's cool, man. I understand, say, what you are doing, you know. But I'm me at that, say it. So you have a program and can advise my opinion. So allow me advise my opinion. It's an opinion, it's a program, ain't it? And then you also make your comment, and that's what it is, right?
Run the program, boss. Go on.
I'm not run your program, Bridget. Me I try to support the lady because that's something I observe too. Oh dear Dana come talk about she will go out there and go fight protest about the diaspora. Like come on, man. You look here and just do them something there, Bridget. And I understand that you're not living in Jamaica either. Saying so we are different your thing. I tell me the truth there, man. We support the thing, Bridget. We feel ever talk to Bridget. See? So whatever I said,
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Sure. Did you hear what I said, sir?
Yeah, try to play the thing to save you.
No, I am not playing anything. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm listening.
Don't you dare do that. I have been here advocating for a long time ago that somebody should sit in the Parliament of Jamaica. But I keep on saying that the two political parties have been dragging their foot from way back when. It's not now we have been hearing this thing.
All right, cool.
And until I see it happen, then I will believe it.
All right, cool. Understand you. Long time you fight for it. Long time you support it. Nothing now go on. So now, this man here say, I the same thing there. See it? Give him a chance to. I make we see what him do. See it? But my thing is D and she. See it? How the hell you gonna come out and come talk about, oh, you go to a rogue protest. You know, see nothing else to protest, lady. Tune in at the Vimba V and Vimba Va, una go out with yourself and when you can't get the party them and go out with yourself. We not feel like so no one, just our money alone. We're not supposed to have attack in our country. Enough of where they are for women and region. Then can't do that. Me I tell you it's a big man thing and you can't hang up on me now because I'm gonna tell you something. Me say Diana labor right, that she don't support the people and thing. See? That she get support from labor right. See? She's just like woman last the world about the same thing. See? Time come. Good night and take care of yourself, you.
Why is it that we as a people, why can't we accept each other's opinion? And why can't we speak freely and we're not labeled as a PNP or a JLP? Why can't we? And I know a lot of people don't like my program. I like the way how I deal with my program because according to them, I'm leaning. When they ready, they say me lean to the Labour Party because of my last name. When they ready, they say me lean to the PNP because I talk certain things. And if I said that, I do not, until I see certain things happen, I'd take with that grain of salt. They say me lean. I'm a this, I'm a that. This saying about Jamaicans sitting in the diaspora sitting in the parliament, has been going on for many years. And until I see it happen, then I will believe it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I am saying. That's all I am saying. I do not know if Miss Jackson Miller said that she'll go out in the street and protest. I can't prove that. I don't know if she said it. I didn't hear she say it. I'm going to go back and watch the video. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. So I can't comment on that part, my good friend, Reggae Girl. I can't comment on that. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. So, you know, but until I see certain things happen, then I will believe it. Not that I'm doubting anybody, because we need change in this country. And we see wherein Mark Jefferson Golden can bring the change into Jamaica. And I hope and pray that this does happen. I hope and pray that they investigate, have a forensic audit into the government entities in this country and investigate, and who must go prison, go prison. I pray and hope that do happen. And do not run on the merits by telling the people, say, hey, we don't do this, we don't do that. When you're going, it's a total different thing. You know? So I pray and hope that you know, it does happen, that somebody is held accountable for the $1.4 billion school bus saga. I hope they investigate that thoroughly and let the chip lies where they will. Because what is going on in this country needs to stop. You see? We have to wait and see if that's going to happen. Because what is going on in this country has to stop. It cannot continue like this. Ladies and gentlemen, people, it has been a long day, a long night. It is now 10 minutes to 11. It's time for me to rock and roll and get myself out of here. And go and do what I got to do and go to my bed. Thank you all very much. Thanks for all those who call in and criticize. I love that. I love the passion. I love the way how you may call in and, you know, say things. It makes me into a different person. I have another call coming in. Hello, good night. Welcome back to our program. You're live. Hello.
Hi, Jeffrey. How are you?
Turn off the TV in the background, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, very sorry. Okay, very sorry. Calling you from Bermuda.
Ah, hi. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Hold on, before you go any further, are you guys threatening to have a hurricane? I was talking to my friend today, and she said there's something coming on.
Yeah, some bad weather. Yeah, around Thursday.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, around Thursday. Well, hopefully, Aaron finds somewhere else to go by then.
Yes, indeed. Go ahead, my dear. Go ahead.
Yes, I was listening. I didn't realize you were still on live. I was listening to the last two callers. I agree with you, and Miss Jackson doesn't have to agree with us.
Right.
Her opinion is her opinion, and she don't think she started off by saying she has lots of friends and lots of relatives that live abroad.
Yes.
But it's her opinion that no one from the diaspora should sit in parliament, whether it's in the Senate, you know, or wherever. She just don't, and she says she don't agree, and she will protest if that ever happened.
And you know,
now she's one person.
And you know something too. How we don't know that members of the People's National Party don't agree with it?
Ah, there you go.
You know, because people will say things to get into power, you know. And when the vote comes to the parliament, it's a total different thing.
Yes, and I think a certain amount of the opposition.
Yes, they have the
And
two-thirds
the
majority in the
it's a
parliament.
mix. They would exactly would have to agree.
Yeah.
So it's not as cut and dry as that young lady think, you know. Yeah, it's not. But she says she knows it's a process, but it's a big process, and you know, it's gonna be somewhere down the road. But I'm happy for the
know,
maroon
you
and the
know,
rasta
yes, you know something to call her?
to be included. Uh-huh.
We're a democracy, you know. We're a modern democracy.
Exactly. Exactly.
And the democracy of this country, the beautiful thing about the democracy of this country, we can get on, we can speak
Yes.
out, and we can criticize, and we can you know, agree to disagree.
Without getting personal. That's
Thank
the part I don't like. I don't appreciate. I don't appreciate that. We don't have to get personal. If you know have something like that to say it in your kitchen. Say it to somebody in your household.
Because
you know, but don't
I tell you something,
that
you know.
she don't know Dion and Dion don't know her.
I tell you something, you know.
You know, yeah.
I have seen Ronnie Tweed, who is a former Minister of Education for the PNP, stood up in the Parliament of Jamaica and criticized his own party.
Of course, it happens everywhere. Right here in Little Bermuda, it happened. It happens everywhere.
Ronnie Tweed said that he has never seen so much wealth from the poor transferred to the rich. He said it in the Parliament of Jamaica under the People's National Party leadership.
He always said Jamaica is too rich to be so poor.
There you go. So, you know,
yeah, that was
we must can disagree to agree and not to get so personal. And that's what I'm saying.
And if she's JLP or PLP, what is it, PNP, what does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
Everybody can't be one. You know, everybody can't be the same.
And
you know, she thinks that's her personal preference.
Yep.
You know,
a lot of people don't like me because I am not coming out every night and you go vote for PNP, you go vote for Labour, right?
No.
And it's not me for doing that. How dare me?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But you know, today was a good show. I enjoyed watching it. I think I went to every parish.
Yes. I tried to do that. Yes. All right.
Yeah, I think I went to every parish where you have the rest of a good night.
Okay, Justice. Thank you so much.
Get some rest, okay?
I will.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Bye-bye. No more calls for the night. This we're going to say thank you very much for coming on, everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of this program. Thanks for walking in divine purpose. Thanks for all the calls that call and all the callers that call in. Thank you so much. I learn a lot, and I will try to adjust certain things if I have to adjust it. Thank you all so much. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Walk with everybody. I want to say thanks to all those who has sent their Zelle and their Cash App to me. Thank you so much. I appreciate everything that you guys are doing. Thank you so much for contributing to the program. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. This is Make We Talk, Election Headquarters 2025. May God bless you. May God bless our beautiful island, Jamaica land we love. Have a great night, everybody. Good night.
Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.